we get any live viewers, that'd be great too. I'm Fafnir Dota, and this is a last minute, at least for me, AD2L match that got scheduled pretty quickly. This is Team No TP versus CerDota2, and this is the under 4.2k division of AD2L. And casting with me is the esteemed Flub with two B's, Dota.
I don't know about esteemed, but I appreciate the shout out.
Well, I esteem you, and that's all I can say. I'm sure other people esteem you. You have a mother. You've got, well, your brothers might not esteem you. I don't know how your brothers feel about you.
Classic brother stuff. But let's talk about some Dota. I'm excited, man.
Yeah. So I don't know how to feel about a first phase silencer ban unless you are a team that just loves Enigma. Because otherwise, it feels like something that you can just kind of play around for the most part. Enigma's like the one hero that it becomes really painful to deal with the silencer.
Honestly, they could just be like, well, we don't want to... We want to have team fight, and let's take out the guy who's the best at countering team fight, and that's silencer. So they could be going down that general style with Team No TP. Maybe they're reading too far into their name with the Team No TP. But honestly, I'm a little surprised that they didn't ban either Sven or Jakiro. I think that those heroes are very, very strong this patch, and I'm interested to see what they go down at this point.
Okay. Did you set your voice to open in the game client?
I did.
Okay, I did not,
I will.
so people would not have heard me. So the only thing I would say is, how do you feel about the Sven's nerfs? Do you think they changed him enough? Is that like, I don't think it dumpster tiered him because it didn't seem that big, but how much did that nerf hurt Sven, you think?
I honestly don't think it hurt him that much. I think he's probably not a tier 1 pick. He's still a really nice tier 2 pick and still has a lot of potential for what he can do. He's still very good at farming a lot of creep camps. He still works really well with the new Mask of Madness, being able to split up. Like that's like the main problem of it. So I'm a little surprised that they weren't afraid of it, but obviously it is only the first phase, so maybe they're waiting for the second phase, go through the second phase bans, and if it's still not banned, then I'll be very surprised.
Okay. So we see a Slardar and a Riki picked up. That seems to be a little strange considering they banned out Silencer. The Spiritbreaker one makes total sense. He really makes it hard for Riki to have an impact before Riki gets some levels and has his ult. Because you can just get charged and you just get beat up in lane. Like a Spiritbreaker and Riki, if they're both pressuring lane at the same time, the Spiritbreaker just wins unless the Riki actually stays hidden like 90% of the time. So that makes sense. Slardar Riki feels like a little bit like last patch, but it could just be a comfort or a playstyle thing. Dazzle Earthshaker, I'm not sure about this combo. I know that Mr. Blue played offlane Earthshaker for them last week, however. So do you think it's going to be an offlane Shaker again?
Oh, I think most definitely. Thing is, though, I think that Riki is really strong versus a offlane Earthshaker. You can you feel a little bit more able to go into lane a little bit further in so that you can get some experience at certain points, and Riki can just cloud you and get a couple smacks in, slow you down, so that it just keeps you just off balance and can get some easy kills on you. So I wouldn't like to see it as that. I'd rather see it as another support. But honestly, Dazzle doesn't really help the Earthshaker out at all in that position. So really, I think they're going to have to put it in the off lane at this point. And I'm surprised that they didn't ban out Clockwork. If they have an offlane Earthshaker, I would have definitely banned Clockwork because he's just the guy to take down Earthshaker.
Yeah, I also like Riki against any Earthshaker in general. If you can find the Earthshaker, cancel his blink, prevent him from casting any of his spells, it's you know, it's well worth it. Especially if he's an offlane shaker, you're counting on him for a lot of CC and damage. I like the Venge and the Troll, Shadow Fiend, and even the PA bans. Banning out a bunch of the minus armor heroes on the side of Team No TP that gives a lot of synergy with Slardar. And then Venge is a pretty strong support or carry. I like, as a support, I particularly like it because it's a way to deal with Smoke Cloud. Your carry doesn't necessarily have to get a 4-staff if they're not a 4-staff hero or a Hurricane Pike hero, and it gives you a way to save them before BKBs are up. And Troll's just strong in general. Like, ban Troll, It's a good ban.
Yeah, you will have you will have no complaint from me if you ever ban out a troll. Troll is very strong in this meta. He's just a strong hero at this point. They're starting to move away they're trying to move away from the illusion heroes. And if you're moving away from the illusion heroes, that was the only thing that was really keeping Troll at bay, was that he couldn't really take care of them, and he does a lot better versus the guys who are single target that he can just permabash down and push down towers, which is very important in this meta, is to be able to have that like split push mentality a little bit. Not too much, but to have it in your back pocket is a must.
So,
And
Elder Titan is the first pick in the second phase. I'm not a fan of this hero currently.
Reserve time.
Do you see, like, what? How do you see this fitting in with an Earthshaker and all of them?
I think he's good. I think that he's decent at teamfight. He allows the Earthshaker he can easily set him up for very, very early Echo Slams, even if he doesn't get a Blink Dagger offlane. So it's really neat that they go for that style, and I think that Elder Titan's a lot better in this patch, most definitely. It's an interesting pick, though, with a Dazzle, because Dazzle has the ticking damage and on his Poison Touch, and I personally don't like to go Poison Touch on Dazzle, but a lot of teams do, and just to have that potential of being able to harass someone out in the off lane, and unless they go completely away from that, unless they completely take away from Poison Touch, then it's going to be very hard to be able to set up their lane. And then also going into Terrorblade, Elder Titan counters Terrorblade very, very much so. So if they were afraid of a Terrorblade and they're trying to pick it up so that they don't have it, because it seems like right now CerDota2 is picking up a lot of stuff that was really strong last meta, and Warlock's still very, very strong this meta. He's an incredible... Okay, and then they go Faceless. Huh. Well, anyway, Warlock's level 20 death talent that they took away from him, being able to spawn a golem is incredible now. So, like, Warlock still makes a lot of sense. I'm curious on why they went Faceless, though, because every single one of those guys doesn't really stand outside. Like, Warlock does, but his Titan can't really hit people. So, his ultimate doesn't really do anything.
The only thing I could think of is that they wanted something to prevent a Sunder, like... and Faceless Void, you know, if you're in a pinch as a carry and you need to counter out an AM or a Weaver, and like all you have left is a carry pick, you can pick a Void to do that. But with the Team No TP's ban out of Invoker, like Invoker's one of the few heroes that can throw a mid who can throw in enough damage into a Chrono to make it worth it. The other one I can think of is Sniper. He's like, those are the two heroes that can just have the ability to throw in a ton of damage. Invoker can do it globally. Sniper can do it from, 1,000 range, even further if you count Shrapnel. And he's also got Burst, so I think a Sniper pickup is, I guess, how you have to deal with the draft. Sniper's also very good against Terrorblade. So I think Team No TP was in a situation where they really wanted to ban two heroes and they could only get one. I'm curious to see what mid they'll pick up. I imagine it would just be someone they will get last pick so they can just play the matchups. But I'm not sure what CerDota doesn't want to see.
Honestly, if they don't pick it up, I hate having Sniper into Elder Titan. I always think it's a horrible combination. But if they can kind of stack their abilities correctly and use the potential of... Okay, they banned it out. I was about to say that Sniper will destroy their team. Elder Titan will be a little bit useless, but Sniper would destroy him.
Right.
And actually...
So Lina can throw
TA,
damage,
man.
too. TA for Team No TP?
Oh, yeah. Especially when Lina's picked up. Look at all that minus armor. Elder Titan's going to make them super weak. Dazzle's ultimate's going to make them super weak.
To be Dazzle, yes, but Elder Titan, he has to physically be in the middle of it to give them minus armor half the aura, unfortunately. So
it's true.
That's something that I see. I always like Elder Titan with magic damage comps more than I do physical damage comps now. Like Earthshaker's a great pairing because his you're gonna have the spirit probably where it echo's gonna go out in most situations. So
yeah.
But yeah, no, TA is really good. You got to survive the Lina lane. which can be rough. I think that's still TA favored though, so that's all you've got to do is you got to come out of the lane phase okay, and then you're pretty golden.
Yeah, she can blow up Lena. They go
dang.
Outworld.
I don't like that matchup for Lena, just because if you have to defensively astral yourself, you just set yourself up to die. Like you set yourself up for a crush, a smoke cloud, a Slardar. Like there's just so many things a defensive astral actually is not very useful compared to it is in some games.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a little bit harder to play. Honestly, I think that he's going to have to go for a Blink Dagger this game, just so that he can defensive astral and then immediately Blink Dagger out, because it's going to be a lot harder for them to time that. And if you shift click it, then it's almost impossible to get that off unless you are a god at timing. So
yeah, you have to time
and
the stun perfectly.
10 seconds remaining.
yeah, most definitely. And Mr. Blue is taking up that Earthshaker, so it was exactly what we thought. They're going to have that duo lane of Elder Titan and Dazzle. Maybe they're just using the potential of how much they can push out the Slaughter. Because Slaughter is not going to be someone who can go into the jungle and farm up anymore. So they're using all this potential of just, all right, we're going to push you out of lane, make sure our Terrorblade gets super farmed, and you're not going to have any farm on a Slaughter.
Yeah.
It'd be an interesting idea.
Yeah, if I was playing CerDota, what I would do is I'd tell Faceless Void that maybe you're going to have the Riki to help you a little bit, but you just got to man up and take the Earthshaker, which Faceless Void easily can do. If he itemizes properly in a 1v1, he will beat an Earthshaker just because he has the ability to walk off the Fissure. Fissure's not a very long stun, so like any sort of Fissure harass situation, you actually you can just walk it off. So normally you get the way Earthshakers kind of win the early lanes is that they'll fissure you, and then they get a free right click or two, and that damage is what lets them trade. Faceless Void can actually walk that off. The other thing is that bashes, like just the bashes, let him trade very efficiently with other melee heroes. But they are sending the Warlock bot, so Warlock Faceless Void, that Void's gonna get free farm. Man, am I getting bad lag or what? Let me turn off some things on my computer.
Okay. Well, they are sending... It looks like Warlock's going to be going top. They're going to be trying to go into this tri-lane, I think, is their plan? No, they're...
He's warding right now.
Okay. They're trying to make sure...
Preemptive Sentry. That is a really aggressive Sentry to place down. Especially when they have a Riki, so Sentries are really valuable, because you know the other team's buying them.
And they're not really worried about Riki taking this rune at all either. Like, that's like the classic Riki thing to be doing, and I think they're calling it out that hey, he's here. I can't move on this at all. Yep. And they're going to be picking it up. Oh, are they? Nope. They still got it. And they're going to be trying to take down Dazzle here. Dazzle's getting really low. He's going to get a couple right clicks here. They're going to be able to stun him out. They're going to stun out the Dazzle once again, going again. And that's a first blood.
That was just really a big misplay by the Dazzle. If the Dazzle walks away, he's fine. Here's the other thing Watch Dreams did. He went for the greedy sort of, I'm going to get harass build, and he went very light on the regen with a Clarity. He is going to get his Poor Man shield, so he didn't go by not getting the rune, he still gets his Poor Man, but he desperately needs that. And he accidentally bought it in his stash, actually. That's really bad. You need a Poor Man shield in this sort of lane. Still, the Slaughter's going to get
another one
Dazzle.
Here. The Slaughter's getting a couple snipes, and they're going to kill Dazzle once again. He just tanks the creep wave.
They might get the return kill. No, he's going to walk away. Yeah, got too aggressive with the zoning and the creeps, and the Elder Titan was nowhere to be seen. Looks like he was trying to wrap around or get an aggressive ward up. But you got to be there to help your Dazzle if the Dazzle's going to be that aggressive. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, OD's doing pretty well for the range disadvantage he's at. He's got 6 last hits to 3. That's not what you want to see out of your Lina, so he's already doing quite well. And he has a Sentry that he can hold for when he feels like the Riki is going to pressure him. So once the Riki goes missing, he can drop that down.
Yeah, definitely. The thing is, though, is like I was saying, the Dazzle didn't even go heal in the beginning, so he's got Poison Touch, and Elder Titan went Stomp, so the combo isn't going to work up here at all if they try to converge on one target. So this tri-lane's probably not going to have as much use as they're looking for. And Ricky's just going to take advantage of it here. Just do a couple right clicks here and there. They have no sentries anymore because they've spent the one on Rune and one in mid. So at this point, it's looking really good for the Radiant side. Yes, the OD's farming very well. They're better than he probably should, but all in all, they're going to have a better start because their tri-lane, because their duo lanes are working better than the Dire tri-lane.
Yeah, and the other thing is that while Lina could be easily getting last hit, at a certain point in the Lina matchup, it doesn't really matter if you got last hit her because she, like Shadow Fiend, can just spam out the wave with her bottle and her nukes, and you can't really prevent her from farming or shoving you under tower. And OD, while he does have his 2 points in Astral Imprisonment, he can't actually use that to clear the wave. Not like Lina can with Dragon Slave, where it's just the wave just dies, and there's just nothing you can do about it. Ooh, but a big mistake here allows OD to get 2 denies off and a ton of harass on this Lina.
A lot of potential coming out there. She's able to use her Tango into tree though, so nothing too big. Oh wow, he is able to eat the ward just before it's about to go.
Yeah, that's a double Tango. That's some nice value out of the sentry being there just by happen chance. Meanwhile, the OD does have his bottle up, so he's setting himself up for what normally I'd say is a Lina favored matchup, but instead he's doing quite well. So with 10 denies, he's going to be out leveling the Lina, especially if he can continue it at this pace.
This Faceless Void though on the other side is doing very, very well. Mr. Blue's getting some damage out onto this Warlock, just doing the classic 1-1-3 build, but the Faceless Void is going to push him away, get him out of lane.
Yeah,
I guess that's... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, this is the thing, like, an Earthshaker can punch with a Warlock all he wants, but the sustain of Shadow Word means that unless the Warlock hard commits to some sort of aggressive trading with him in Totem Stop range, it just doesn't matter. Yeah, see, CerDota2 able to he just walks off that big harass, and then he gets healed up, and then he's fine. So Earthshaker's going to get his levels, and he'll get some last hits, but he's not going to get nearly as much as what the Slaughter is going to potentially get. And the fact that they're pressuring this Terrorblade is great.
Definitely.
Oh, they even got a pull-off. Or they got a pull-off, though, so that's nice for the Dire.
Yeah. They're able to get something out of this. But the thing is it's only a one lane pool, so it's going to push very hard on this point. And, I mean, I guess that's a decent way to take care of a Riki. But Riki already has boots, and his potential's pretty strong at this point. You don't want to be caught too far out. And, like, Dazzle's able to harass, but he's going to be caught out without boots versus a Riki with boots. And the difference there, I guess, is they're not wanting to commit.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they want to commit. Oh, the OD sees the Lina who... Oh, she didn't pop her invis, but he has a sentry down, so he's fine. She's not quite efficiently using her Dragon Slave, so she's missing some last hits, giving some easy denies up to the OD. This is leaving her, gonna limit her leveling. OD's already 6. Though the thing is that, well, Lina gets a big power spike at 6. ODs generally typically don't want their ult at level 6. It's just not nearly as valuable without more points in his aura, or points in his orb, so... yeah, those denies in the range creep, that's like the 3rd one she's given up, so... This is pretty painful for the Lina. Once she hits 6, though, a Riki rotation can easily result in a kill.
I see that. Well, I see that Elder Titan's going down here to help out Mr. Blue. Maybe this is their idea in the beginning. Maybe they're saying, okay, Dazzle will be able to keep enough pressure in the early game to help Terrorblade get some pulls off, and hopefully we can put some pressure elsewhere on the map so that the Riki can't be a part of that duo lane top. Try to put the pressure elsewhere, and that might actually work.
Yeah, Mr. Blue should have died there. The way the Stomp was positioned, if Faceless Void aggressively jumps forward on top of the Earthshaker, he can just start punching him, and then the Warlock and him could have just right-clicked him down. But fortunately, Faceless Void was more concerned about just avoiding the stomp damage, which he didn't do. And since he's going for this fast Midas, he actually doesn't have much kill potential in this lane. So one of the reasons I'm not a huge fan of the naked Midas rush. I think Midas is a fine pickup on a Void, or lots of carries, really. But imagine if he had boots right now. If he just had boots, this is... I think they've got this Elder Titan anyways. They might. Nope.
Nope.
He's gonna. Oh, Ricky's going for it. I think
Oh,
he's
the
gonna take
Ricky.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Ricky
Good play.
managed to secure that, but if Void has boots there, the Ricky doesn't even have to make that risk. It's just got 100% a kill. And I kind of always feel like in a lane like this where you are being contested, it's better off to have those boots. Yeah, see, he just walks off all this harass. So this Earthshaker's now in trouble, actually. He's going to have to back just after just coming back to lane from Fountain. Still, the bright spot is that now that the ET is there, they did get that kill, but that has left the Void less. He just hasn't been CSing for as much, so the Terrorblade has caught up, and they did use meta to push out top tower and kill it. So they did one of the number one things you want to do as a Terrorblade. With your second meta, you want that tower dead.
Slaughter's getting a decent amount of farm though. The rotation of Ricky in the very beginning helped them out quite a bit.
Oh, the CT
He's
spotted out. He's in trouble.
some serious trouble though. If he had the TP,
Oh, but
he
he's
might
not
be able
going
to get away.
Oh, Lina missed the stun though.
And there's no slow coming out from. Oh wow, he's trying to re-engage here. They think that they can take him. The supports are going in. Dazzle's gonna do some spells, try to get some ticks on him. But that ult comes out and he's gone.
Yeah. Even with the 2 missed Light Strike arrays, it just doesn't matter. And OD walks over, gets a few right clicks on to the Lina, but he doesn't have the hammer, and there's no backup. He does go in the Mass Actual build, so that does give him a little more burst potential. But without the hammer, he can't throw down and just delete somebody. No bot.
Yeah, they committed the chrono, but didn't necessarily kill him. The ticks are coming out.
No,
He
he's
uses
gonna
his
be
Fairy
fine.
Fire.
Fairy Fire. Oh, 5 HP. How could he not Fairy Fire there? There's no way he was confident he was going to live there without the Fairy Fire.
Calculated, Faf. Calculated.
I actually think he thought Dazzle was going to heal him faster.
Probably. I probably would have done the same thing. But heal, like into the mic at that point.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
But man, look at how bad this is going for the Lina, though. She's getting doubled up by this OD now. And now her tower is going to be pressured. And she doesn't actually have much mana. She uses Light Strike Array, which actually doesn't clear the creeps out or hurt the illusions very much. This tower's going to take some serious chip damage.
Oh, most definitely. And while this is happening, Elder Titan's getting free farm up top and getting much needed levels. And that's kind of the problem with the hero in general, is that he is very, very dependent on levels. And so is Dazzle, really. So that was kind of the biggest problem with this side of the draft. And they are doing the correct movement. They're using their cores to push out a particular lane, go into like a farming mode whenever their abilities are down, and have the supports get the farm whenever that's important. And really, it's amazing that they can do that without being punished by Ricky.
Yeah, this Ricky, he applied some good pressure top. They've gotten a few kills, but he hasn't really pressured the OD, never even tried. And this Lena's going to go down mid. She gets poison touched up, and she should tick out from the poison touch. Yep. And then Schertzen gets the kill. Even a single point to poison touch was enough to kill. And that Lina is just, she went forward aggressively and didn't have the mana to back it up.
Oh,
and
in the bottom. Oh, wow. I'm sorry about that, Faf, but Earthshaker just used his ultimate, got a big Echo Slam, stunned him out with a Enchant Totem.
Oh, and gets
wow.
the return kill on the Ricky, who thought he could harass the Earthshaker for free, but Fissure came off cooldown, just punches him once with Enchant Totem, which didn't do a ton, but then the Fissure Burst did plenty to finish off a very squishy Ricky. And that's pretty disastrous for them. They've got a lot banked into this Void coming online very soon, and he's just got Midas Brown Boots. Compared to what this Terrorblade's been able to achieve, Terrorblade is not particularly higher on the net worth chart. He's actually a little bit lower than the Faceless Void because of the kills he's gotten, but what the Terrorblade's managed to do is he's created space by pushing top and pushing mid with 2 metas and then continuing to farm. Void needs to really... His Chrono's back off cooldown. They really need to get active and utilize that in combination with their Laguna. Oh, they used the Laguna on the OD, but that's not nearly enough damage to kill him. They Laguna'd him when he's at full health, and he has a regen rune, so you just wasted a bunch of your mana and a cooldown for nothing.
Yeah. Very, very mismanaged there. And, oh man, Mumbo's going down on bottom, but he's going to use a Chrono to cancel out that Stomp. He's going to be getting knocked down to half health, but probably not in too much of a worry since Mr. Blue's there. to help him out.
Yeah, Mr. Blue actually didn't have enough mana for spells, but Faceless Void chooses to respect it, as he should, because if he dives and he gets fissured, he probably dies. Up mid, looks like there's some aggressive action by the OD, but they get Fatal Bonds up, and the Golem was dropped, but no one dies somehow. So a very defensive Golem. It doesn't look like it. It looks like it might have hit onto 2, but it didn't do anything. So this is a pretty big mismanagement of resources. If you're going to use the Golem, you've got to get value out of it. They're going to get a little bit of chip damage in the tower, but the Golem actually doesn't do much damage to tower. One of the things you need to do when you use a Golem to push, you actually want to use its aura to just kill the creep wave. If you do that, it's much more efficient at pushing than trying to just directly hit the tower. But
Most
the downside,
definitely.
yeah, but the downside of this is now Lina can't. Where's she supposed to farm? She has Laguna back up. She has a DD. Oh, Bleak on the Slardar, and that is enough damage. And you know, you were saying the Slardar was getting plenty of farm, and I really wasn't paying much attention. And clearly, Team No TP wasn't either. Oh, Mr. Blue comes in from the back for an
Mr. Blue
echo.
just walks in. Oh man.
Oh, wow.
And that ult's coming out, man. It's gonna hit no one though. They blast down the 2 squishiest people. They're gonna be able to push off of this because meta was just used, and he's going
That's a tier
all
2.
push build.
Yeah, he's got max meta, he's got his max illusion, or almost max illusions, and yeah, the ET ult was a miss. They managed to walk away from that, but it doesn't even matter. The fact that Terrorblade was there for the cleanup, so they end up trading 1 for, what, 3 there?
Yeah, 1 for 3. Well, 1 for
So-
2, right?
Yeah,
I
Slardar
don't know.
blinked out. Slardar was able to
Yeah.
blink out, I thought, or did he die and respawn?
No. He blinked out.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone got out. It was just the guys who had 0 escape. That
Right,
didn't
the
get
Lina
away.
has 0 escape at this point, and she is really far behind. The Slardar actually has more items than her at this point. She went for the Soul Ring, going straight for the Bloodstone build, and I really, really dislike Bloodstone versus Lina without some other utility item. She's not a hero like Storm, where mana just enables her. She actually needs something to survive. Whether that's Phase Boots Aether Lens, whether that's Yule Scepter. Oh, there's a Blink Crush, but just harassing. Oh, and he gets Fissure stunned out, and he's just going to be deleted from the game as well by the Terrorblade. Nice positioning by Mr. Blue, and he doesn't even have a Blink Dagger yet, but as soon as his tower dies, he's got it. So, the Slaughter Blink is kind of when the CerDota kind of came alive, and now once Mr. Blue comes alive with his Blink, things are only going to get harder for the Radiant side.
Radiant's bottom tower is
They're gonna back off because they're getting too much damage with all those
Oh,
chains.
bot.
But
Got Faceless Void. Oh, he gets the bash.
it's not committing though.
No. Well, he needed a TP from someone other than the Riki. I think they needed the Lina. Like, the Lina's the only hero that really would have given them enough oomph to take out the OD. And OD does have the hammer, so if he'd gotten off 1 or 2 hit autos on the Faceless Void, he probably could have just burst him down. Yeah, he had 28 int. OD is sitting at 80, so you're looking at 60. Yeah, 480 damage nuke's pretty good.
Oh, they
he
missed the stomp.
Missed the stomp. There's the Chrono. Catches onto 2, but where's the Lina? They need the damage. Oh, but they have the rock come in. They get the Golem off. Oh, but the hammer gets off because the smoke cloud was a little missed. The Fissure gets to the Slardar. He's caught out. He gets off his ult. Oh, he does manage to blink away. And Lina's finally shown up, but she needs to land a Light Strike Array. Otherwise, no, she's just backing up. So it ends up being, what, 2 for 1? And they committed Chrono.
2 for 1.
Yeah. And and meanwhile, Terrorblade's farming this whole time. Looks like he's got some sort of item on the courier, right? Yeah, he's got his Dragonlance on the courier. They're just fighting over it because Mr. Blue wants his blink first and says, hey, you're just farming. Your Dragonlance can wait. Oh, Lina gets caught. She could get Astral right now. Oh, she gets fissured up. With an Astral, she's dead. Oh, but Slardar re-engages, catches Mr. Blue out. Oh, there's the Echo and a nice grave to keep him alive, and the Slardar goes down. Faceless Void, though, just keeps jumping in aggressively. And they catch the OD. This is going to be a big kill if they can get it, and there it is, the Laguna.
Yeah, it wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be over 500 gold, but with the new and changed gold, it's not quite as big as it could have been.
Yeah.
And Terrorblade is just farming away, and he's about to get his item like you said before, so really it's...
Careful with courier. Yeah, it was a
It's a loss, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not a big thing. I just feel like the main issue that both these teams are having, and you have these, it's just not perfect coordination. Lena wasn't there for when the chrono happened. She didn't have a TP ready. And then if you're going to commit to pushing on a tower, if you're not bringing the Terrorblade, you shouldn't be there. Like, Terrorblade means that that tower will die in a timely fashion, and whatever like situation you've set up will be successful. Without the Terrorblade, they don't have anybody who can hit a tower with a dang. OD has very short range, just has a 4-staff right now, so he doesn't particularly do much right-click damage unless his Arcane Orb is active, which doesn't work on towers. And the rest of the heroes, none of them want to even be in an attack range of the tower, because a Blink Slardar can just destroy them. Just a Blink Crush Amp and then a tower shot will kill a lot of the supports.
Oh, most definitely.
Dire's top
I'm actually I doubted this team lineup on no TP, but the amount of damage that they can do at a range just from Elder Titan, and oh wow, they're gonna go on this Ricky. They're gonna get the stomp off. Oh nope, he ults. He's able to dodge right by it on bottom.
Nice dodge.
And
The dust is gonna run out, and they've committed 1 sentry. Oh, he's gonna get away, unless they have another dust or another sentry. Oh, he astrals a creep. Yeah, he astral the creep instead of the Ricky. Just a misclick there. Oh no, they're TPing back in. They want to fight this with the Golem. They have Golem. They have Chrono. Oh,
and
there's
this
the Blink
Blue's gonna
Crush
get caught
on.
out.
Oh, there's the Chrono. There's the Golem, and this is the wombo combo they needed. And ET's gonna get saved briefly, but I think he's gonna die promptly when he comes back out. Oh no, she misses the Dragon Slave off. The OD hammer comes out, but he just uses it on the Warlock, and the Warlock actually has a fair amount of int, and OD hadn't actually stolen much, so and this Terrorblade's in severe trouble. Does he have Sunder? He does have Sunder up, but he's running away. If he could turn on this Lena or this... Oh, he's going for the... Oh, he gets the Sunder off just in time. The Lena is able to walk it off, though, and then they're just able to burst down the Golem, so it ends up just being a 1-for-1 with the ult exchange. Have they caught the Ricky? They have caught the Ricky, but I don't think they have any detection left. Warlock looks like to be just walking it off, and there's no man on the Faceless Void, so I think they're just going to cede this tower.
Yeah, they missed the stun there. Oh, nope, they're jumping in on this
Oh,
Warlock in
there's
the back.
on the
Ult's
Warlock.
committed.
Faceless Void might get run down here if they can get a 4-staff Astral. No, his 4-staff's on cooldown. At this point, they really need to bail. This tower is... I'm not quite sure why they want to keep fighting this.
Yeah, they're...
Radiant structures are
Honestly, at this point, I feel like that the Dire's probably going to get a... Oh, wow. Is Ricky going to get this pick? No, he's not.
No, just misses it. Yeah, so initially the response was great. They pushed top. They sensed that they have vision up. They saw that Dire was Team No TP was gathering to push this tower. Their response was they split push with 3 heroes. They got the tier 1 tower top, no problem. Then they even came back for the defense. The defense went how it went. They could have probably gotten a nice Grave and Astral got the ET out, so they ended up trading 1-for-1. But then they just kept sticking around when they didn't have mana on the Faceless Void, and Lena didn't have mana left for her. But they're just keeping going. There's still no meta up, though, so I don't know if they want to fight this into a Blink Slardar. They have a Blink Earthshaker, but his Echo's down, and when his Echo's down, Slardar's just better at these sort of skirmishy fight situations. And OD doesn't have a hammer either. Okay, Terrorblade has headed to top, so he's going to start farming it up again. He's still working on his... He's got his Yasha up. He's working on his Manta. And it looks like they've decided to pump the brakes a little bit, because meta's down, the hammer's down. Not much you want. You don't really want to take a fight against the Slardar Arena, who have both of their ults and stuns just ready to go.
I think they're trying to fight because they wanted to fight with Warlock's ult being down, but they realized that our ults are down too, and we just have to back at this point, try to get something available. And I mean, really, they don't have the items to take them on either. It's not like they have that much of a lead. It's only a 2,000 gold lead, so it's a good call in the end.
Yeah, and much of their lead is a bit stronger than that, I think, just because a bunch of their money is on this Faceless Void, who did go Midas, so he doesn't actually have a damage item yet. Oh, they're going to catch the CT. No. Oh, they commit the Chrono, but where's the burst? The Grave's going to come out unless Lena bursts right now. Oh, there's the Laguna, and it was just too slow. Just not the coordination you want here. They are going to get this bot tower, though, so they didn't commit the Golem. They just committed the Chrono, which is still a long cooldown, but honestly, I think it's less crucial to their team fight than the Golem is. Oh, they caught Mr. Blue's Earthshaker. This is a big pick here. There's the Ricky ult. There's the Golem onto 2. That's a well worthwhile kill. And Slardar's trying to go on the OD. The hammer comes out and punishes that Slardar. He didn't have a crush quite off cooldown yet, but he still wanted to run at the OD, and that proved to be a big mistake. They are TPing top, though. Their Dreams is solo pushing. He's committed meta for this. They can easily catch him out if they just get a Lina stun off. But Lina doesn't have enough mana for this. He's got Sunder off.
Oh.
Yeah. He's got Sunder off cooldown. This Lina is really ballsy.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Well, getting off with a warning pretty much there, and Dreams is just gonna go back farming. He's fine with that. He's their main carry, so you know the Terror Boy's gonna get pretty nasty here soon. And honestly, with a couple more items with Yules coming up on Elder Titan, that's gonna be a very big item. Being able to Yules up the Faceless, keeping him out of the damage, or just having someone to easy setup for yourself, obviously, is always great. So there's a lot of opportunity there, and really, like, even though Faceless has a lot of gold and he's doing fine on the net worth, he has 2 items for farm. Like Maelstrom's nice, and Hand of Midas is nice for the attack speed, but honestly, he doesn't really do anything to make him tanky or give him any other type of utility. It's just like, all right, he hits, and if we can kind of keep him at bay with these long-range stuns that we have, or these Yules, or being able to put people into stasis with Outworld Devour, it's just going to counter his whole play right now. So really, they're not too afraid of the team fight when Warlock's ultimate's down.
Yeah, and this is where I think he's going like the Faceless Void carry build, which is generally you get Maelstrom or Vlad's to farm with, or Midas in this case. He's got 2 farming items. Now he's going into the Manta, which is a good general purpose, but again, it's more of a defensive / farming item. It doesn't add to his damage potential hugely. Not until like a Diffusal Blade comes out will he really start packing a serious punch. And they haven't been great about coordinating these Chronos. They've been pretty good about trying to get a Chrono into a Golem, or vice versa, Golem into a Chrono. What they really need is just the Laguna, and they need it like instantly, because so far, for the most part, they haven't caught the Dazzle in the Chronos. So Dazzle's been able to save people multiple times when they go on them. If they have just the instant, blink in Chrono, and then Lina just drops her 2 nukes on them, they're probably going to be dead before Dazzle gets off the grave, because you still got to react. Get in position to do it, and I don't know how many points he has in Grave. Okay, he's got 3 points, so he's got decent range on it, but I know if you only have 2 points, Grave feels so short-ranged.
It's definitely one of the better ones to level in the game, even though it really doesn't do anything except for increasing range. But that's the whole point of the spell is you're there, they're not.
Smoke moved by the Dire. They're moving up as 5 in the Radiant Jungle, and they're going to catch this Faceless Void. It's just a matter of can they properly stun him out. There's the instant Echo, doesn't hesitate to commit it, and this Void is just stunned out and dead.
Even stomping on his grave to add insult to injury there.
And that just shows you how you actually gank a hero with Earthshaker. A lot of people try to blink, fissure, and stomp, but that gives them time to counterplay. Like, because blink fissure is not instant, there's a cast point to it, and things can go wrong. Blink echo, there's really no chance they get away. Alina's trying to push out the wave, but Terrorblade doesn't care. He can tank this tower. He has a bajillion armor with just Manta, Dragonlance, Aquila. And they haven't even committed meta yet. They're still holding it to see if they need it. And realistically here, they only committed Echo for that. So they could conceivably threaten to the high ground with this meta if they get a good pick. But they're TPing in the Faceless Void very aggressively. They're looking for a Chrono. He can get a Chrono onto 2, but the Dazzle isn't caught, so the Grave should be able to save any target. Oh, but he goes after the zone target on the other side, but the burst on the Terrorblade's not enough, and oh, he doesn't get off the Sunder due to the blink stun of the Slardar. There's the Golem coming in. They're all linked up. They're taking so much damage. OD tries to get in a position to drop the hammer, but he's just not able to. He's stolen a ton of it. He needs to get the hammer off. deletes the Faceless Void, but that's it, and then he dies in return. Oh, the Ricky gets hit by a Enchant Totem Aftershock. Not even aiming for him, just trying to stun out the Lina. But they have Blink Crush, and now they're just going to run them all down. Can the Stomp allow them to get more away? Yes, they should be able to disengage off that Stomp. That ends up being a 3 for 2 and a pretty big win for the Dire. And it's not showing 2 of the deaths there, so it only shows a 500 gold swing. It was much more significant than that if you're looking at the cast. And Brado has DC'd from the game. And my apologies if people are seeing occasional stuttering and or flub robot voice. I'm probably going to need to reset my router after this game. It's just getting some intermittent, I don't know if it's packet loss or what, but I think I just need to restart my router, which we'll do in between games 1 and 2.
By the way, during that whole fight, Lena had her Bloodstone. Now she has 15 Bloodstone charges, so...
Oh, the dream. This Lena's been behind for so long. She's going for this farming item that can snowball against you if you get caught out once, and then you get just 3 charges. Oh, it's so good. Even beyond the extra mana the 3 charges gets you, it just means that you have to die twice before the item's useless or 3 times, but instead of just twice.
Mm-hmm. It was a fantastic timing pickup at that point to generally get that. But honestly, I think that it's a big deal. It's going to basically keep her at a point where if she dies once, it's not going to be too much of a problem. She buys out. She almost has a Yule Scepter as well, which that's kind of like the bigger get for me at this point. She got enough gold in that last fight to be able to really come online, and having that set up is going to really help her out. Honestly, the biggest problem with that last team fight that I saw was that Dazzle had multiple opportunities to be able to Shallow Grave, and then he got worried whenever it was really low, and the Earth Shaker stun kind of messed him up. The wall came out, and I believe he was clicking around the wall to try to get close to him. He had some
pathing issues. He was trying to get to the OD.
And that was the biggest problem. If he would have dropped the Shallow Grave a little bit sooner, when obviously you want to do it at the biggest value whenever he's like about to hit 0, but it's better just to keep him alive for X amount of time. When you're level 3 and you don't have an axe on the other team, that thing is going to last for a good long second. It's going to last 5 seconds. Well, it doesn't increase, I guess, at all.
Yeah, it's always 5.
Levels. It's always 5. But 5 seconds is a long time. And if you would have cast that just a little bit sooner, just so that he could guarantee that if they did stun him, he would be able to get the Sunder off. Because 5 seconds is not going to be longer than, let's see. If he did it correctly, they could only have a 5-second stun out on him. Or not even that, 4.5 with their stuns right now. Unless he gets an unlucky bash on top of him as well. And Faceless Void wasn't next to him.
Didn't he cast the Grave onto the OD, who is what they were going on?
Well, before that even happened, when they were at the tower, they were going on Terrorblade for a long minute, and he was winding up to try to put the Shallow Grave on the Terrorblade to give him the ability to just Sunder after it, do a real wombo combo there. But it messed up, and then they just kind of went spiraling after that and tried to save everyone and re-engage at certain points.
Yeah, definitely. And the biggest thing I think there is you can't have both OD and the Terrorblade get hit by a Chrono. Just can't happen. You have to be more split than that. Really, this is just one of the situations. Why is the OD hitting the tower? He actually doesn't hit that much harder than his Dazzle or his Elder Titan against the tower. He just doesn't. Just not how the hero was built. And he's gone for this fairly standard... he's gone Hurricane Pike into BKB, which is a pretty standard item build. Maybe you get Blink pickup instead of the Hurricane Pike, or maybe you get Blink Hurricane Pike into BKB, but like those aren't damage items. Force Staff gives him like 10 damage, that's it. BKB is not going to give him damage. Blink obviously doesn't give you any damage, because all you need on OD is to be alive. He's just one of those heroes like Death Prophet. If I'm alive, I'm doing my damage, as long as I can right-click you. And... so if he would just stand all the way back, like if he just stands actually at Force Staff initiation range, he could Force Staff forward, and Dazzle doesn't even have to Grave save anyone. He can Force Staff forward and just save the Terrorblade who's hitting the tower with an Astral. And then you wait out the Chrono from there, and then Dazzle can kind of sit behind you and save you if they counter on you, that sort of thing. just a little bit poor positioning there, because, you know, it's, oh, our cores hit the tower. But that's not really how they work. Looks like they're gonna find, oh, this Faceless Void, oh, and they missed the stomp. He gets it off in time.
Yeah, it's a good idea to try to, you know, stun him out and get that long sleep, but the reality is that you're not going to be able to really stun him out with
Do
it.
they have any vision? No. Just dust. No reason to think the Ricky's there. Ricky's getting close to his defusal. That's a big damage increase.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big deal for sure. I think that it's gonna be a lot longer though, because Ricky really hasn't had a good initiation at this point. Yeah, he's had some counter problems where he's been able to pick people off in these team fights very, very rarely, but he's a lot of his time is spent just looking at people. He's not really getting picks, he's not really farming, he's just kind of a mobile ward at this point in the game.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, that's fine. I think the biggest issue is he keeps dying these fights. Like, last fight he was just trying to be vision, trying to provide utility in the fight, and what happened was Earthshaker was stunning out the Lina with an enchant totem trying to get away, and he just gets collateral stunned out and killed. And Ricky's one of those heroes. Like, you really just gotta live through these team fights and collect that assist gold. That's generally how you get your items, unless you're really snowballing out of the lane, which he didn't. And I can't even blame him for being in a position. I think he just wanted to cancel that blink, and he might have very well been canceling it, and then that's why he died. Which is well worth it if you catch that Earthshaker. Earthshaker does have a Force Staff now, so that help him immensely against Ricky. So I would actually like to see, before Scotty's completed up on this Terrorblade, I know Scotty's typical, but against a Ricky, I feel like a Force Staff is such important pickup to have as a mini gears. Oh, and they catch the Ricky out.
they're about to smoke. They're grouping up to smoke to do that, and
they threw down a sentry to make sure there wasn't a person spotting it out. And they get a free kill for it, but honestly, CerDota should have recognized that there were 5 heroes there. Why are you still farming? But he didn't recognize the situation, and he's just going to get stunned out. Oh no, Mr. Blue doesn't go for the Blink Echo. He tries to use the Fissure Initiation. That's not going to be enough. He's going to be able to get away. Yep, and I was actually talking about that. If you're not willing to Blink Echo, you're not going to catch people sometimes. But that's okay. I think they want to go high ground here, and probably wanted to save the Echo for the high ground.
Old Man Mongo kind of ruined his plans. I think if they would have had Earthshaker up in the front, you can actually stun outside of the smoke, and he was wanting
Mongo
to have that happen.
Yeah, Mongo got too close. Yeah, that makes sense. It's really tough to push into Lina, and it's especially tough to push when your OD is actually disconnected.
Now, this is the 3rd time. I think this is their last pause that they have.
They have 5 minutes of pause time. If the other team chooses to enforce it, we're not admins to this. This is unfortunately between the 2 teams. I will say I will just start playing a different Steam game if they don't enforce like a certain minimum of pause time. But usually AD2L teams are pretty nice about this sort of thing. Though obviously, you know, you can't pause forever. So
Right.
At some point, I imagine they'll start a clock, but it seems to be more of an intermittent lag issue, similar to what I'm experiencing. Though I am told by Joe Schmo, who thanks for watching, Joe, that we actually sound pretty fine. So it's probably just like the little hiccups that bother me when I play Dota, but probably don't bother people watching because people. Yeah, it is only 3 pauses per game per 5 minutes, if I remember correctly. So hopefully he doesn't need to do this again. If so, it's going to create problems. Did they pop? They popped meta. Why aren't they pushing in? Did they just decide it was too ambitious? I think they decided it was too ambitious.
Yeah, maybe they're thinking. Well, the Ricky came up by that point, and really what they were trying to do is they were trying to get the Faceless on the back of that. So then they had to have a buyback from him, and he's about to get his BKB. This is huge for the Radiant.
You know what I actually would like to see out of Faceless, and this build he's gone is fine. I like the BKB pickup after the casual Yasha is great. You just need the BKB to avoid being stunned out. To avoid, once he's BKB'd, OD doesn't do anything to you, and neither does the ET or the Earthshaker really. I do like them going up. They're taking Roche. They're pinging it out, though. They had vision of them walking into the pit. So, did they? Yeah, they have vision of the Earthshaker hanging around right here, so they know what's up. They catch the Ricky out. Ricky commits the ult to get away. Oh, They stomp out. Oh, this
man.
Slardar's in serious trouble. Oh no, and the Lina and the Void. The Void's able to walk it off. Oh, there's a huge Fatal Bonds, a huge Golem into there. There's a nice Astral save, but the Echo comes out onto 3, but OD pops BKB. The BKB's also popped there. There's a nice Sunder. The Sunder isn't good enough, though, because the Laguna comes out afterwards. But BKBs are running out, and this OD is so strong right now. I believe he still has the hammer. He's stolen 32 int, so he's more than ready to rock and roll. And the Terrorblade manages to walk out with just a sliver of life and should be able to just shrine up. Yeah, he can just shrine up and then go back in and take Roche. And all this happened. They won that fight 2-0 with meta down. And Golem and the Chrono were committed.
Yeah, really, in that team fight, Faf, excuse me, the Chrono was a perfect counter initiation at that point, keeping those guys all locked up on top of each other, 3 there, and then the counter, having Mr. Blue jumping in and stunning out that Lina. Otherwise, they would have had 2 more seconds on the stun, because she was lining up to get a 3-man lightning strike array, went to a dragon slave, and just would have gotten so many kills there. It was actually a very perfect team fight, going back and forth on the counter ultimates. So very good team fight there by both sides. Just Dire coming out a little bit stronger at that point.
Well, and 100% the reason Dire came out ahead is this vision they planted right here. Oh, there's Ricky just trying to harass a little bit. He's going to pay for it for his life, and they still get Roche, so definitely not worth. But this vision that they placed right here gave them all the information. They landed an Echo Stomp on the cores here, set up the what is it, Earth Splitter ult.
Yeah.
And then because that vision was still down, they dropped a sentry immediately, I think, and tried to kill this ward. But in that time frame, Mr. Blue had all the information you need for that Blink Echo counter, and just they end up couldn't get any kills. It was even like they held the Laguna till after Sunder came out. Now OD has an Aegis. Definitely the right choice. Your Terrorblade is just not a good Aegis carrier because his meta comes down. OD also loses his stolen intelligence, but he still has a ton of damage potential with just his right clicks. Meanwhile, Terrorblade, honestly, in melee form, pretty much just gets kited out at this point. He's not nearly big enough to be that scary. He'll have a Scotty soon, though. And once you get to that 3rd item on Terrorblade, he is really scary.
Oh, most definitely. And Scotty's one of the scarier ones. Having the ability to slow people down with your auto attacks is pretty nuts. And he's getting a double damage at this point. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they just push in and go for high ground and say, okay.
Yeah, he's got meta, and he's got a DD. We've seen this in Kiev. Because it adds base damage bonus, he will get effectively 160 extra damage from meta from the DD. That's just from the Metamorphosis. He still obviously gets another extra 160 from the DD rune as well. So getting 240 extra damage off a rune is insane. He'll actually just kill this tower immediately, but he needs to go right now. He needs to pop his meta and go right now and just start hitting the tower. Chrono is up.
Hey, they're trying.
Oh, the Chrono into Golem. They get the Fatal Bonds off too. Can they? Oh, but the Echo and the Stomp counterfeit. And Lena's just going to get stunned out, and she's taken out. Slardar has his BKB, but he misses his Crush because his Blink was canceled. BKB popped on the Slardar, and he's not doing anything. So they lose the Lina and commit their 2 big teamfight ults, and they've just lost. Meta continues. Oh, another big Stomp. Catches out the Warlock. He's just going to get burst down. Slardar tries to counter engage. Mr. Blue goes down to just a Faceless Void Bash, but the Hammer can come out at any time. They have to back. This OD, he could just kill him now with the Hammer. He just needs to throw it out. 28 stolen int right now. Oh, the Ricky's just melted, and this should be a dead Faceless Void. No mana, just gets punched out. And this Slardar, oh, why did he? Man, he's saving the Hammer for somebody. I don't know. Like, I think at a certain point you just use it to kill everyone, right?
Maybe he's using it.
Well, now that there's a buyback, he can use it to kill the Void. Oh, not if he gets stunned out. Oh, there's the grave.
But the grave.
Oh, he can get it off now for sure.
Use it.
Oh, there it goes. He had so much stolen it. 76 stolen it. He almost one-shot the Warlock.
Yeah, that's insane. Still coming back up though, and he has his BKB. He didn't even use it that fight. I actually would have liked to have seen him use the BKB just to kill the Lina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Dreams that whole time, Objective Gaming is just punching the tower. which is what you want in this situation. He's the tower hitter, and with the buybacks already forced out, their ults forced out, all they're going to do is just take a second Lina Rax. So that's 2 Lina Rax down. They're up 13k gold now. Lina's trying to do the damage, but...
I wouldn't be surprised if this was 3, Faf. They have no ultimates on the Radiant side. Yeah, they don't really have very many on the Dire. But
oh, they caught the Lina. She's forced back into the team. And now that she's dead too, this could easily be GG. I think you're right. I think if they just approach the fight carefully, don't dive them, just hit buildings, play safe, they will take 3 racks and get megas off this. That's just the power of the Terrorblade. Especially with the Dazzle to give you the sustain. OD's going in though. Oh, Echo comes out onto 2. Metamorphosis is actually back off cooldown. That's how long they've been in the Radiant space. To be fair though, this is their base now, because it is all theirs. And that will be a GG for game 1. Even if the CerDota doesn't call it, they're just going to die. Terrorblade's just going to take all the structures. And this is, Terrorblade has 8k gold he hasn't spent. And he had 5k of that before this even started. So he could have had a Scotty, but just no time to get it from the courier.
And, I mean, obviously, they could... I guess you could... Well, it's really hard to come back at this point. They don't really have anyone that can do a lot of damage to all the creeps. Void could possibly build into some type of availability, but they're going to try to fight to the better end, and I respect that. So they're going to be trying to get something done here. With Ricky, he's... Oh, wow. Okay, good. I thought he was going to drop a smoke cloud, and I was like, all right, you're going to be a dead duck there. But, nope, they're trying to do something here. Trying to go on Elder Titan.
Oh, they're just getting stunned out by the Earthshaker. There's the Chrono, there's the Golem. They're getting their combo off. Graves is already committed to keep the Elder Titan away alive. BKBs pop out on the OD. He's going to be able to walk it off. Dazzle's cleaned up. ET's cleaned up. And they should be able to bash out Brado as well. No, they can't. The fissure separates them out too much. Oh, Lina cleans it up. And the only person left alive is Mr. Blue, but they got the Megas. It's largely irrelevant. They do not have a team that can come back from Mega Creeps. As a matter of fact, I think they'll be highly challenged just to keep the creeps off of their towers. Lina's okay at clearing Mega Creeps. She's not the best, especially when she doesn't have that many items. Slardar's terrible. Void has a Maelstrom, but with only a Maelstrom Yasha for damage, and he's dead for 40 seconds anyways, they're going to have a heck of a time keeping the creeps out.
Lina could buy a Maelstrom right now, though, and really push... Well, not
yep, there she
push
goes.
them all back. Okay.
Yeah, with Maelstrom Lina, once you have a Maelstrom on the Lina, she actually is pretty good. Just she gets so much attack speed from her Fiery Soul, and she already has some stuns and nukes, but it's still rough for her. Look at this. These creeps are going to kill her if she doesn't walk away.
She also wasn't kiting there properly at all, so, I mean,
yeah.
Beggars can be choosers, but, like, the thing is, like, or not beggars can be choosers, but people can't,
Ricky and Slardar decided to go YOLO, and they die for it. They do kill the OD, though. Or no, OD already died. He just hasn't respawned yet. They got nobody. Never mind. And Mr. Blue with the emotes. Those are just to the team. Just an FYI, if somebody hasn't watched Pro Dota, we can now see when teams use the chat wheels, but typically they're, you know, they can do the all chat ones, but we have not seen those come out yet. It's not quite there, and they're losing the tier 4 already. I think my prediction of the Mega Creep issues are still there. If you properly kite it, you can do it, but it's not the easiest thing in the world to do.
Yeah, it's definitely not very easy, but they don't have like the worst team versus it. And honestly, I've lost pub games like this because we screw around too much and try to do silly different engagements. And they still have a very good team fight team. Okay, but they're gonna catch out Warlock for like
Yeah, not if you lose your Warlock. You need your Golem to hold your base. Slardar BKBs to go in and crush the Earthshaker, but he doesn't really care. He just walks it off. He does to make sure Ricky isn't there. And now Dreams is trying to run to the fountain. This is actually how you lose this. You don't need to fountain dive. You just hit towers. But honestly, oh, there's the hammer, and that kills 3. Yeah, Odie picked up Shiva's in an ultimate orb, so his int is off the charts, and that is actually GG. Wow.
Wow, I did not expect that explosion to happen there, but that was a good game. I think that it came down to by the end of the game, I think that Dota 2 or CerDota,
It's just
CerDota.
CerDota 2.
Okay, CerDota 2 had a little trouble using their combination now correctly. I think that Lena had a lot of trouble mid, was a little bit shyish because of that, and they were able to counter her plays almost every step of the way. Mr. Blue was able to get that stun out before. They had an uneven mapping whenever they were trying to set up for Roshan, getting the 5-man stomp on them on Elder Titan. There was just a lot of better team fight play coming out from no TP, and I think that we're gonna see maybe Silencer getting through unless no TP decided to ban it out. And I think that this series was a very strong and very fun on the late game, but I'm interested to see them get a little bit more aggressive in this next series.
Next game.
hmm
Yeah,
Sorry,
I agree.
next game, not series.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is only game 1. We've got one more to do. So,
Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting. I wonder if they'll ban out the Earthshaker. Honestly, Mr. Blue's counter initiations were a big problem. Elder Titan did some good work with his counter initiations, but it's just not as reliable as just the simple blink echo just does work. Always has, always will. It's why the people, no matter how good he is in the meta, people like playing the hero because that ability in and of itself is so impactful.
Yeah, most definitely. He's got a strong capability of. I mean, he's made of stun. He has a lot of range potential, which is always very nice. As time moves on, people with longer range seem to be doing a lot better in the 7.0 series. So, it doesn't surprise me that still in 7.06 that he still has like some type of relevance at this point. It was kind of just a matter of time, and with illusions and everything. So, I think that he maybe could have seen play a little bit before last patch, but there was just a couple things that were keeping him off balance, and how useful you could have the off lane be before. It was just kind of more dominated by someone like Legion, who takes care of illusions just as much in a big AoE and starts a very similar style of team fight.
Earthshaker's problem always has been and always will be laning, just the nature of the hero. And honestly, I don't think he's going to come back this patch as an offlaner because his laning still sucks. Like, you can play around it, especially when you're doing dual lanes and there's a committed roamer, but I mean, there's really no reason he should have gotten as many levels and as much farm as he did. They killed him once, but really, if you have Warlock's a good sustain support, but he's not a kill support. And if Ricky, I know they did some work up top to get Slaughter some farm, but if Ricky had just committed to being down there from the start, they could have completely shut him out. And honestly, with the way they managed the lane up top, I think Slaughter was going to get farmed no matter what. They weren't really controlling how they pushed the lane in.
Yes, but I do think that. I mean, if you looked at Liquid in the past series on Starladder, there is a lot of potential for where they could play him. They played him in mid a couple of times, obviously.
I like him as a 4 now, because honestly, if you can make a Sand King work as a 4, you can make an Earthshaker work as a 4. Is kind of my thoughts on the issue.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, that's what he used to be a long time ago, anyway. So
yeah, because the Chinese teams have been just like Sand King is picked up first phase as a flex pick because they can use him, and maybe that's why Sand King's getting more play, is just because he is a flex pick. Well, meanwhile, Earthshaker is not so much. So maybe that's the answer as to why. But I really do think Earthshaker as a 4 has plenty of potential. As an offlaner, I just think you're just very vulnerable to being forced to Iron Talon out some like boots.
Mm-hmm. But there's some really cool combos with it. I've seen him as a counter to Tinker. A lot of times, being able to have that smash hit that always hits is pretty impactful. And honestly, I could I could see. Sorry,
I was just gonna say okay. I didn't see you in the channel yet, so okay.
So Yeah, he has a lot of impact on a lot of different things. Like in that game, yeah, Ricky has his fog cloud. He can't necessarily use his ability in there, but there's still the option of automatically hitting someone, which can which can be a counter to him at that point. And whenever you start getting your levels up, if you're going down more that enchant totem build, because a lot of times what I would do if you go down the enchant totem build, you enchant totem before you even jump in. You jump in echo, and your echo is going to get off before the smoke gets off in almost every scenario, unless they see it coming. And then yeah, you can hopefully get a complete destruction around that, stun them out, keep them locked out, and then if somehow they have the ability to jump in and smoke you, that you can still get a true strike hit off. And it's interesting combination at this point, man. I think I wouldn't count them out.
Yeah, my kind of thoughts on that is, I think it's fine. You're right. You can play against the Riki, but the problem that they had with that Riki is, yeah, he was a mobile ward, but at a certain point, he was just walking into the middle of the enemy team. He wasn't really skirting the edge of where he thought they were. Does that make sense? Because
yes.
At a certain point, the Riki's play is, and Boboka is probably the best example I can think of in the pros at the high level Riki play. Where when there was Monkey King every game and he played Riki, all he would do was look for the Monkey King. He'd find the Monkey King and make it so the Monkey King either let them catch the Monkey King out because the Monkey King was being aggressive, or prevent the Monkey King from doing monkey things. No stun out of trees, no monkey ult, like always be in a position to blink Smoke Cloud before he got off his ult. And I think that's what that Riki needed to do. And I wouldn't be shocked if he was trying, but Mr. Blue was able to stay further back, and they kept vision down to make it so when Riki walked in, oftentimes he was dead or forced to ult immediately just to not die, at which point Mr. Blue was able to just size it up and go in. So I'll be curious to see how they draft it. It looks like we're going to have Radiant and Dire and the same pick order again, with Team No TP valuing the second pick over Radiant and first pick, which is kind of the opposite of how everyone else I know likes to play Dota right now, which I find is interesting.
They like a certain number of heroes, and they're guaranteed to get two great ones instead of... There's certain times in Dota where, especially whenever the patch is new and people don't remember the true counters as much. Well, like in that game, they didn't pick Clock versus a picked up Earthshaker, and that was kind of the main problem. I feel like that is, you have to pick up Clock versus Earthshaker. He just shuts down the heroes so hard. And when people forget those little things, then you can take a lot of advantage on your first picks, because they don't have the sense about them to go take out their counter picks and destroy them from that point. So
Interesting.
because that's what I would do whenever I started these leagues. I would always, whenever a new patch came out, I would always want second pick, because I could pick I knew that there was like 10 broken heroes, and then I would the 10 broken heroes, and then be like, okay, no one really remembers how to counter these guys, so let's just go from there.
See, honestly, I think you're overthinking it, honestly. I think what you're saying is completely correct, but they last picked their mid last time. And the reason they're doing second pick is because Brado's like, man, Mister, all you gotta do is give me a good matchup. Give me the good matchup, I will win us the game. I'll carry us the game. Because that's how mid players think. That's how Vafa thought. That's how Kairai thought. That's how Brado thinks. I know it's true. So that's the whole reason they're getting second pick, is because they've got a mid player who's just like, I'm the high MMR on the team. He's actually not, because Mr. Blue's one of his many accounts calibrated a little higher than Brado, and he's thinking, I can carry this game.
I'm always thinking of like the epic, like I guess I'm the conspiracy theorist of Dota, and you're like,
no, you're the captain. You're thinking the draft through. You're thinking through, this is what I would like to do. I'm going to set up my master plan. And I know what Mr. Blue's thinking. He's like, man, if I get Brado, if he gets like last pick, counter pick, like Veno into TA or something and I don't see it coming, we might win, but I don't want to hear him whine about it all lane. Oh my god, this lane sucks, you gotta gank for me. And he's sitting there in the off lane, desperately trying to get his Blink Dagger, because he has to initiate or counter-initiate every fight to save the day. So he can't be ganking mid all the time, he's gotta get his Blink up. And there's the Earthshaker respect band. I know right now, Mr. Blue, his little freckles and his red head of hair is already flexing. He's like, Daddy just got a respect band. And his son is just like, I don't care. And tries to eat a Lego block or something.
It's funny, though. Team No TP has no respect bans at this point, even though there were some really good plays done.
Magnus and the Morphling, like, those aren't typical first phase bans. I feel like those are respect bans right there. I think they looked through the Dota buff of this other team, and I'm guessing a Morphling and a Magnus both did a lot of work in an earlier game of AD2L. Because,
gotcha.
I mean, would you ban out a Magnus or a Morph? Like, I wouldn't first phase either of those heroes. Like, they're good. Well, I think Magnus can be very good in most games. But I don't think a Morph, like, you can just pressure him. You can pick an OD. Like, there's just so many ways to counter him.
I just feel like Magnus is people are so used to playing him that it's kind of something that's not necessarily respected at a certain point. Like, he was so good last patch, and he's still pretty dang good. You play him a little bit differently. And if they are able to switch the mentality, then it's still a good first phase ban if possible. You know, if you have a team that's around team fight, and both of these teams are obviously very team fight heavy. So maybe you're probably right though.
Yeah. So Axe picked up into a Lich. Huh.
Interesting idea. But the thing is that Axe at least has, like, with Crystal Maiden, he has the ability to do bigger stacks because you're able to use your ability, right? So they could, it's kind of like a catch-22. Like, if it was Axe versus Lich and they didn't have Crystal Maiden, then I'd be like, yeah, that's silly. But at this point, it's like, oh, okay, well, you want to pull your lane back? I just won't be in lane at this point then. So
yeah. Oh, Flub, I feel like I'm just not gonna have to have a camera follow the Pudge while you judge every hook. There's your boy.
There is my boy. That's a Flub special right there. And actually, I really like Lich with the Pudge. It's something that I couldn't do in the past because they're never good at the same time. And honestly, I don't know if this is the patch for it, but I do respect that they're doing it.
I think Pudge is good still. Pudge is still really good. I don't think Lich is good enough.
Yeah, people like the whole denying the creep thing, and I played him actually earlier today just to give him a chance, and it's really good versus like the perfect setup. It maybe be like a fourth pick when you haven't picked out your correct matchup, but like if I picked it just because I had to have lane control because like my team would lose if I didn't pick someone who was incredible at just controlling the lane versus the other team, and they had zero push. So it's like if you have that, then that's fine. But if you first pick it, then people are going to be like, okay, we're just going to rush at you. And, okay, you can deny that creep, and it helps us. So, honestly, I mean, that's kind of why I...
Yeah, I was going to say, what I like, the only situation I like to Lich up is if you need a support and desperately need to counter a minus armor strat out, like, and Dazzle doesn't fit the game. Like, I feel like, yeah, he'll win you his lane, and he provides some team fight, but the big thing is, like, that ice armor needs to be really effective against the enemy team.
Right, very true. I just like his potential in lane to be able to harass people out and do what's right, and then if you have a roamer, then you can have, like, a Pudge go out and gank lanes as such. And also, with someone like Lich, if they get too upset and they, like, start farming the lane, and, like, Lich can't necessarily kill them, but you can always keep the lane back to a certain point, and then it's just easy hooks if your Pudge is...
Yeah, so. The thing I think you need to do with Lich in this patch, and I'll have to try it, and I don't know if you're in the circumstances you would do it, but I think with Lich, you need to get your level 3 up, maybe your level 4, so you've got your tools, and then you need to just go roam with that Frost Blast, because people don't expect it, and honestly, if you've eaten, 3-4 range creeps at that point, your carry should have won the lane at that point, unless it's a really bad situation like it's Spectre or something where they can't really use that experience advantage to be self-sufficient.
5 seconds
So,
remaining.
but
Right.
speaking of running at you, they have a Spirit Breaker now and an axe, so that seems pretty run at you.
Yeah, that is very run at you. And honestly,
CM
both
enables
teams
the charge too.
right. If they play it right though, the Lich can still do some really good potential versus them, and it's kind of hard. But if you are an experienced Pudge player, and this guy might be very experienced at it, I love having Pudge versus Spirit Breaker. You can just hook them right out of charge. It's you know exactly how they're gonna move if you can get that feel, but it's kind of hard to do. So they're gonna get a disruptor.
The other thing though is you also know like where the charge is going to land. Even if you're like, I'm not in an angle to hit him, like you know he's going to bash him, so he's basically going to be right where your guy is, and you just throw that hook. And if you hook your guy, you've hooked him out of the situation. And if you hook the Spirit Breaker, you've hooked your guy out of the situation pretty much. So,
Yep.
Disruptor picked up. So this is a core Pudge.
Interesting. A mid Pudge. I actually, if they're planning to put him as a mid Pudge, Team No GP, if they do it, I don't think they would. But Axe versus Pudge was like a classic counter to him when Pudge used to be a mid hero.
Oh yeah,
And
he can't do anything. He can't even get up to the creep wave to rot something.
Yep. Because
He's
you just
battle
you
hunger
just
spam.
die.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what? Actually, I'd like to see if you're gonna pick this. I think Lich Pudge offlane is a better idea.
Oh yeah, that could be good.
I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
Lifestealer, man, they are manly draft with the plus. There's 3 manly men and a Crystal Maiden so far as Team OTP's draft.
They heard that I wanted more aggression, and they said, "Okay, we will give you all the aggression in the game."
Yeah, and Lifestealer dumpsters all 3 of CerDota's picks right now. I actually think I like Jug a little better
Reserve time.
than Lifestealer in this situation. He's less aggressive, and you don't get the the infest bombs. But the main reason I like Jug better is because a lot of times the Chain Frost won't kill people, especially if you split properly, but it can stop pushes because everyone's hurt. And yeah, maybe they can get an urn, but I really like Heal Ward just to kind of sustain through Lich Harass when you're trying to push. But
Right.
Lifestealer is the more aggressive pick, more aggressive solution to that situation. Just rage in and just kill people with either one of your vessels to get in there. So now they need to pick their mid and their safe, assuming Pudge is not mid, or they're offlane and they're safe. And they got to deal with the Lifestealer. They've already got an axe to deal with the Terrorblade, so I don't think Terrorblade's and Spirit Breaker's pretty good against Terrorblade as well, because he can stun him out for like what, a guaranteed 5-6 seconds. That's plenty of time
Something
to
like
burst
that.
him. Yeah. Bloodseeker. Okay, we're getting
Wow.
weird, Flub. I'm
We're
gonna
getting real weird.
step back. I'm gonna step back. This is your zone. What is happening? I don't understand this draft.
Okay, so what they're trying to think is, well, we need something to kind of take care of like the charge, because that's what they're worried about is Spirit Breaker being able to be a bomb, and if they can get it off, I think what they're thinking is if they can get it off, they can have Bloodseeker just ult someone, and then okay, how do we take advantage of it? We hook that same person into them, or they can put another body in front of it, which they have no creeps to do so, no extra creeps, so they could pick someone to do that. But all the people that can make extra creeps at this point are not going to be useful. So they have to basically sacrifice someone whenever Bloodseeker ults. Though with that being said, I don't think you're going to have a good enough team fight to be able to even let that happen. And it's like, okay, one guy gets sacrificed. We still have all of this super divey things that are going to be on top of you, and you're not going to be able to kill it because that is not much damage right now. They're going to have a lot of damage come out of mid, like an SF, or
Yeah, but
even an SF
into
is not strong.
Into the Spirit Breaker. Well, Invoker, there's damage. There's some damage.
It's true.
You've got to get your wind up, and you have to both cast your spells and use your spells very well. But Invoker can solo carry a game from the mid. So this is an offlane Pudge or an offlane Lich. No matter how you phrase it, like honestly, you know, I say, oh, you can send Pudge Lich offlane, but in that situation, honestly, your Lich is probably going to end up with more farm than the Pudge, just with the way the heroes work. Like, Pudge might get the kills and the last hit priority initially, but eventually he's going to go do Pudge things, and your Lich is just going to be there absorbing farm, I think.
Yeah. I'm very confident that that's what they're doing right now, and maybe they're kind of having this game where they can be... I don't think it's the smart move, but they can farm everywhere with everybody. Bloodseeker can actually go into the jungle and farm at a certain point and let Disruptor farm. So it's kind of one of these things where you can have all 5 people farming, but that is the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want that versus Spirit Breaker. That is, and especially with a Spirit Breaker that can have a Life Stealer in them. That's just
and they don't have any save heroes. Like their best save hero is actually technically the Disruptor, which is not good. And there's the Puck for mid. So Puck Invoker's a pretty damn classic matchup. With all of Invoker's nerfs, I'd say it's Puck favored. But honestly, I don't think it's so Puck favored. That it's just about outplays. Like, do you phase shift the proper time to avoid being cold snapped? Do you hit your, you hit your orb? Do you hit your coil? Do you hit your silence, waning rift?
Yeah, but there are so many delivery systems on that team.
Yeah,
Life Stealers.
Everybody but the Crystal Maiden. And honestly, in a pinch, you can just get her a Glimmer Cape. She can also deliver the Life Stealer.
Yeah.
I have had somebody in my solo queue game. I picked a lot of CM for TI ranked, and I had a Lifestealer in me at one point because I had like a force or something, and we were getting out, or like he just needed somebody to infest in. He wanted to surprise him, and let me tell you, they were surprised when like they walked up. I frostbite him, looked real scared, and then all of a sudden they just died.
It's true. It's true. You can do a bait move with that. I do think that Puck is probably the best pick versus this scenario because, like I said, they could have.
You don't
that
like the
type
TA? I like the TA a lot, actually.
TA.
Yeah. TA versus Invoker, plus you have a TA Lifestealer. I really like actually as a combo.
Yeah, that's true. The thing though, I really like Puck at this point because they can't do the combination. I mean, TA still suffers to the ability of Rupture Hook combo, and Puck can just say, "Oh, I'm not going to exist for a second, and you can't hook me." So that combination doesn't work. And honestly, I would personally like to see like if he can get a Cyclone Staff, that's works just as well. And it's a natural builder for it. You can Cyclone Staff himself up, even if he doesn't have a phase shift at that moment, if he hits it, and you can... Hook goes right through you now. So the combination isn't as strong as it used to be, because when Hook used to be able to go through the Cyclones, it was a huge deal that Rupture could just do massive amounts of damage with the Hook.
Yeah, I remember... I was playing versus Pudge, who picked up Yule's like second item and was trying to still do the hook Yule's thing. He eventually figured it out, and Mr. Blue gets a nice block off of the ward. It isn't scouted by any of the dire heroes. We are seeing Lich doing the classic Lich thing. It's going to sacrifice a creep mid, guarantee himself that juicy XP solo. This is really important to do as a Lich. You can do it for safe lane too, but you want that sacrifice off cooldown immediately, and you want that Lich to get solo XP, because once Lich hits level 2, he's a hero. Before then, he is an XP advantage machine.
So he doesn't get the block off though.
No,
Oof.
He didn't get the block off, and Invoker... Oh, he's just gonna make it. Is he gonna... Oh, he just made it. Invoker just made it. So that's a pretty big deal, and then he promptly lost it, which does mean they're going to have a superior block off on the dire side. And this is not where you want to be with the Puck. It is quite scary to high ground. And there's a Spirit Breaker there. This, yeah, if I was the Invoker player, I'd already be a little angry at my life. An Orb of Venom Spirit Breaker hits him, what, once, and it already does that much damage? Oh my goodness. No, twice.
Twice. Yeah.
And now we've got a Bloodseeker versus an Axe. Because the Lich is hanging out mid, Mr. Blue's going to have a good old time here. Yeah, Thunderstrike hurts level 1. It's going to hurt for a little while. But he's got so many tangos, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, and if you can do it right, if you get a spin off of something and you have Blood Rage up, it is going to be 25% increased damage to that. So 25% of counter helix, which is pure. So it's just so much damage on top of it. And honestly, like, if I was Mr. Blue in this lane, I would be telling people, like, all right, as long as you make sure Lich isn't here, I'm pretty comfortable versus this lineup. Like, Disruptor's going to do some harass to me, but he's not going to be able to have it too much. If I just go Battle Hunger and keep that out and just have counter helix level 2, I'm confident that I could face down a Bloodseeker no problem and come out the victor. And then you get healed.
Yeah, on the bright side, it does look like Pudge is able to get some solid experience for the first wave. Against... I know they have the Spirit Breaker mid, but yeah, CM looks like she set up this pull, but honestly, I feel like the Pudge should not get any XP. Like, you just kind of position yourself properly as a CM, and you just threaten him with the Frostbite. If he mans up on you, the Lifestealer can run forward and kill him. But by going this... I guess he went Feast level 1, so he actually doesn't have that zoning potential. So Pudge could be relatively... free with how he moves around this lane at this point. They just don't have much kill potential.
Yeah, most definitely.
Especially once he sees the feast out. Like, once the Lifestealer hits a creep in front of him, he knows there's no feast. Yeah, or there's no open wounds. He's gonna get... Yeah, that's gonna get denied. Still, Pudge should be able to sap most of this XP, and these pulls, since the Pudge is able to get here, this is one of the reasons I don't like the hard camp pull early on at all. Because of the 70% XP change, it just isn't very valuable anymore. Yeah, Pudge is already level 2. He can hook this CM up here. And if he does that, she might just die. Oh, he steals the last hit with it instead. That's a fair play.
Yeah, that's a good move, honestly. Oh,
yeah.
They're charging in on bottom, and they're going to be going in. Mr. Blue's not going to be able to get a call off on him, though. They're just going to harass him out a little bit.
Yeah, but look at the damage this Bloodseeker takes. Oh, and he went the greedy double slipper build, too. Oh, my goodness. Not having the Stout just cost him so much HP. Such a greedy decision.
You can get your life back, though, with Blood Rage at this point. It's not too bad. It's bad versus an Axe, but it's not too bad in the long run.
Yeah, he's got sustain. I just dislike the double slipper build unless you're going to be trading right clicks a lot. You actually can't trade right clicks on the Axe. Either he's running from you, or you're running from him, I feel like, is the situation. Either way, I feel like just a normal Stout's fine. Because mostly you're worried about the creep situation. Spirit Breaker
they need to be able
again.
to... Yeah, they need to be able to... Ooh.
Oh,
nice.
He gets the call-off, setting this up. They're going to get the charge up. It should be a dead. Yep, there's the one bash they needed, and there's first blood for Team No TP. Axe is gonna be the sacrifice, though. Yeah, he's gonna die. He's quite low. Oh,
he used the salve. The salve.
Yeah, the salve gets him enough distance to get away, and Bloodseeker's actually went mega greedy because he had no salve himself.
Oh, he charges in.
Oh, and he gets the kill there. Meanwhile, Brado gets a solo kill mid. Well, we're so distracted with over the 2 kills, the salve plays, and then the recharge in. Brado's puck went in there at level 4 and just murders the Invoker.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
He does need to be very careful now. He does have vision, and Sunstrike comes in, and he almost walks into that. But he's going to be just fine.
Bloodseeker actually missed the last hit on a creep there, and then he still had Blood Rage up. And that was the only reason why he died. He instantly died from the charge, even though the charge only did one. He had greater bash level 1, so it wasn't even that much damage.
Yeah. Oh man, that's that painful. Yeah, it's what 30% move speed is damage, and you don't have that much move speed from level 1 charge. It's only 600, so yeah, it doesn't do very much at all.
Yeah, still did like about 200 damage. It looked like it was just because of the increase.
I mean, it does a lot of damage to relative to your HP pool, but, Blood Rage is the great equalizer. Meanwhile, this Lich is getting charged himself, and this Spirit Breaker really has nothing to fear. He can just keep going. He gets the instant bash, but the Orb of Venom is applied. This Invoker needs to save him. Oh, Puck wants blood. Puck's gonna go in. Oh, come on.
Oh, he's going for it. He's going for it. Oh, but he didn't blink.
Oh, he didn't blink to the orb. He didn't jaunt to the orb. Brado.
And a charge is coming out from mid here.
Oh, this Invoker's in serious trouble. Does he have a ghost Okay, he can invoke Ghost Walk now, but he's going to get silenced up. Oh no, the silence misses. He goes for the Meteor play. He's going to die for this. Oh, well, so
no,
is
deny.
Spearbreaker.
Oh.
Well,
If you would have denied off the creeps.
How did he
denied
not?
off the creeps?
That still gives the Invoker the kill, because he hit him with the Meteor earlier.
Yeah, but I don't know if it would have been enough damage, right? I don't know.
Oh, shit. Toggle Tower aggro, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice attempt by Mr. Blue, but Lich is just going to collect his free kill and murder him. That's the downside. Bloodseeker, the one thing he does provide so much of his vision. Uh-oh, does he Blood Rage himself? He's Blood Raged himself. If he gets denied, oh no, he did get a last hit. Didn't miss that last hit.
I actually would have kept going as a Spearbreaker at that point. I know it's risky, but oh man, he had so
Well,
much damage.
what
available.
hero would you have not kept going on as? Like,
This is true.
I know
This
you've
is
gone
true.
forward on it as a Dazzle. Oh, this poor Disruptor gets caught out with the Battle Hunger call combo and just gets run down. And as you said, they just had these run-at-you heroes, and Spearbreaker's TPing back to base just to get as healthy as possible. And you know what hero we haven't talked about at all? Pudge. What is Pudge doing? Like, he's level 4, he hasn't done anything yet, and now he's finally moving around, rotating, so they're sacking this lane, so now he needs to make things happen desperately, because you can't make plays on a Lich. Disruptor's an offensive hero, they're really behind right now, and here he comes to make play here. Gets the call, but the call's not good enough, but man, there's the damage, there's the Sunstrike. Oh, but while that is happening, he gets charged mid. There's a rotation from Crystal Maiden, and the Invoker dies as the Sunstrike comes in trying to get a contribution kill. I don't know if he wasn't paying attention or if he was just dead, because CM plus Spiritbreaker is a lot of gank for an Invoker to handle. And that's the danger of when you pick these sacrificial offlaners who just leave lane to either jungle or to rotate. All that happens is the supports start running at you, and because Lifestealer can handle free farming, and it's not even like they could gank him with any heroes. Like, they'd have to send a Bloodseeker to kill him, and even then, he can't kill him as long as he has a TP in his inventory. If he has a TP in his inventory, he can always rage TP and be 100% safe. Well, that's not true. There's a Pudge hook. They need Pudge plus the Bloodseeker to kill him.
That's just too much to commit. That's your off lane and your carry to commit to one kill on. Obviously, you're on the enemy safe lane, but if it doesn't work out, it's a huge problem. He can't be up there by himself like you were saying before because he's just too tanky. He's too tanky of a hero, so he just feasts off of him, gets plenty of health back, and Lifestealer is just going to get free farm. And versus a team like this, who's pretty much only lockdown is going to be Rupture. Okay, that doesn't matter to a Lifestealer. He's just going to wait it out, and I mean, honestly, he's probably going to have enough farm to have a really early.
He's going Midas.
Right, he's going to have Midas, and then he's going to be able to farm
Have
into
an early armlet phase.
Yep. And if you have Armlet, you can tank quite a bit, even like a Pudge Hook into Disruptor. I mean, you dodge. The thing about what I was saying, though, is about why it's so good was if you had like the setup and with their team before, if you could like Rupture someone, tornado them, and then hook them out of the tornado, it's phenomenal. But if they don't have any actual lockdown. They don't have any way to like keep someone stay in at one point so that that combo actually works. Because if you just say, okay, I'm gonna dodge the hook, I'll take a little bit of damage, it's not a problem ever. So
right, and that's the thing. People level 1 Rupture, especially ever since they got rid of the initial damage, it used to do, I can't remember how much, it did like
250.
Yeah, it did an initial amount of damage, which helped hugely with how Bloodseeker worked back then, because it instantly got you some thirst, speed, and everything, and it made it so, like, standing in place or, like, running off some of your health wasn't as dicey. But a level 1 Rupture, honestly, most of the time the right move is just to run away. Like, even if you don't have a TP, just run away from them. Because if you're reasonably healthy, it's not going to kill you, and you should be able to avoid his AoE nuke, the Blood Right, and then whatever other setup they're trying to throw at you. Game is resumed. It's already a 3k gold lead, only 7 minutes in for Team No TP. This Invoker just keeps dying constantly to charges. And this Pudge, has he hooked anything except that Centaur creep? I don't think so.
No, not at all. I've been watching over him. He's just been trying to get stuff done, but you can't at this point. And really, like you said before, if they would have just had the Lich up there, then it wouldn't have been a problem. But then their mid would be even going even worse than it already is at this point, because Spiritbreaker would just have a heyday and eat them alive. I don't. Looking at what like CerDota drafted, I don't really see that they could really do anything better at this point. They just have to let the Lifestealer farm away, and there's. I mean, even with that, it's not really going to do. They're not really going to get anything out of it. Oh wow, they get mid. They get the hook.
Oh, but deal the John away.
Yeah, just
Oh,
fine.
the Sunstrike. Oh, only 100 damage left. Just short of what they needed.
Giving the extra movement speed to Bloodseeker, and Bloodseeker is going to be charging in on. Oh wow, never mind. He was going to be charging in on Spiritbreaker down here, but a lot is committed down here. And then the Axe Call comes in. He's going to be able to get a dunk here, give the extra movement speed, but Bloodseeker's going to be
going in.
Tower.
Oh, he gets dunked. Oh my goodness.
Oh no, he TP'd. Oh!
The Sunstrike kill cleans up that kill, but Bloodseeker diving for that against the Spiritbreaker is just not worth it. The thing is that Spiritbreaker is higher level than that Bloodseeker by a good margin. He's level 6. Healthy level 6. And he was before the kill. So the Bloodseeker, your Stapling carry, is underleveled with a Lich in the game, is underleveled compared to a roaming 4 Bloodseeker, a Spiritbreaker. That's how bad this game's gone for them. Let's look at that XP lead. The XP lead is 4,000 at this point. The gold lead is 5,000. This is a complete and utter disaster.
Yeah, the leads last game at this point were like 500, and this game they just I honestly think that at this point it was an out draft. Now they could have some really nice team fights, get some combos out, but this is kind of what happens.
Invoker's getting gone on mid. Nope, just getting harassed at his tier 2. Nothing doing there. There's a Veil out in the puck already.
Going in on bottom at this point.
Oh. Yep, there's the charge. Into 3 heroes?
He was already ulted by Rupture at that point. He was just trying to get some damage out, I think. But honestly, if he would have just stayed there and tanked it, it would have been fine.
Yeah, that's the danger. Bloodseeker does have that kill potential. That's a pretty big kill for them because they need to get something out of this Bloodseeker. Anytime Rupture's off cooldown, he needs to be killing someone with it.
And he's getting to the point. Well, that was 2 Spiritbreaker deaths. Like you said, he was really high up there, and now he's. I mean, he's pretty much the same level. He was actually a level lower now than Bloodseeker when he was a level higher just a minute ago. So maybe.
No, he's got a regen. He should be just fine. This puck is just pressuring the Invoker near his own tier 2. Nothing done about it. Lifestealer is just left to hit creeps completely unmolested. His Midas is up too.
Axe is going in the jungle because he almost has his blink as well. He's only about 400 away.
Yeah, I think the Team No TP is more than content just to farm up these items. If they give themselves some time, they're going to have an armlet on the Lifestealer. They're going to have this Treads blink on the puck. And then they can really go to work. But Puck's actually up here. They're confident enough just to push with the 2 of them. They're just going to try to take this tower with the 2 cores. Spiritbreaker is kind of in the neighborhood, so if they see anyone they can charge. They're TPing at the Bloodseeker. I like this trying to be aggressive, but they need to get a hook here. Oh, they get a Rupture on the puck. There is a Spiritbreaker charge, but he gets caught out here, gets ulted by the Pudge. He's going to go down. This puck is still Ruptured, just kind of chilling here. And honestly, it's just able to wait it out. But the Rupture did secure that the puck couldn't counter-engage, and so they get that Spiritbreaker kill again. And, you know, we talked about how he was so high-leveled, and that means that he gives a lot of experience for these kills. They aren't really closing the gap, though, just because they have, you know, Axis farming, CM's farming, and there's a Midas out in the field. But still, like, just getting some levels on these supports, getting some levels on the Pudge are so big. Pudge is level 6 now, that's big. There's a Chain Frost on a Immune Lifestealer. That is, I don't think he was canceling a TP there either. I think it just did it because he thought his Bloodseeker was in trouble. And this Bloodseeker's now dived under tower near a Lifestealer. Gets bit, but he's got Infest. Oh, the silence comes out, and he's actually dead. Schertzing gets off a nice ult. The ult combined plus the tower have got it. The Spearbreaker's coming in. He's going to get the ult off on the Pudge. Can the Pudge get the deny off? He does get the deny off. And let me tell you, that sucks as a CM.
Oh, man.
I actually like to hold Frostbite off of Pudges. Frostbite makes it very easy to deny yourself. You wait for that tick to get your super low, and you turn on Rot.
Yeah, it's true. But the thing is actually, the misplay there was by Spearbreaker. He actually would have hit the Pudge going straight on if he would have continued the charge, and just a pass run through, and then ulted him.
Oh,
it
would
have been
canceled, then ulted. Yeah, guaranteed kill then.
Yep.
Bloodseeker's TP'd back top now after his death. He does have a Rupture. He ruptures up the Axe, who is right under tower. He blinks away. Takes a little bit of damage from that, but there's no mana on this Lich. This Lich runs forward to right-click. It doesn't have anything. Oh, tries to fake out the call, but gets the Pudge ult. There's the Meteor into 3 and the Disruptor ult. They're going to catch the Disruptor, but they're going to glimpse back the Puck. Even with the Dream Coil deployed, this Puck's actually in trouble. She's going to be able to get the Orb off. Will she be able to run away, though? There's the... is she going to get hit by the Blood Right? She does get the Blood Right. Even slowed up, this Bloodseeker is very fast right now with the Phase Boots. Puck's got another Orb. She's going to have to use it to escape. Bloodseeker... oh, she doesn't jaunt to it. This means Bloodseeker's going to be able to run her down, I think.
Maybe. I mean, he's looking for this hook right now.
I thought he had the hook, though. Like, I thought he had the hook set up, so I thought it was going to be a dead Puck, but didn't look like he had it. I thought he had it.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that the Dire is just having a problem with the Bloodseeker ultimate, and they really shouldn't. The thing about Bloodseeker is that if you get a max range blink on Axe, then instead of just double tapping it, or I'm not really sure how he tapped, but that Rupture should do 0 damage to you. And also the blink.
That's not true.
Blink does damage now when you blink the full distance?
Yeah, it doesn't go. The full distance of a blink is what, 1,200. You need to go 1,300 units. Or it's a little bit over 1,300 units within 0.10 ticks. So you can't actually do it. You need to have quad blink distance, which is 1,300. And she has to take a step. She has to be facing the right way. Blink the way she's facing, and move forward a step, and then she doesn't take the damage.
Okay. Well, the thing is, though, they do commit that, and then there was like some weird interactions there. A lot of times the Puck isn't jaunting away whenever he could be getting away correctly. Honestly, I think that a blink would have been stronger on him in the very beginning, not going for the Veil. Veil's fine, and it helps a lot of your magic damage from the CM, but most of your damage is coming through right-click or pure damage from Axe, so there's no real need to have that.
Here's
style
the
of
charge with
play.
the best bomb. It's gone to the Invoker. I think the Bursters are coming up to eliminate him. Oh, but the Disruptor counter initiation into the Chain Frost. Oh, the ultimate. Okay, he gets the bite off. That's a dead Puck. And it looks like they're going to run down the Spearbreaker as well. And Dreams Dota's also in trouble. Oh, the Lich, though, moves forward a little too aggressively and gets Schertzing ulted. Axe comes in for the cleanup here and isn't able to find anything himself, but he does zone him out to make sure the CM doesn't get jumped upon to counter out her ult. So the Lich going a little aggressive, but still a nice win from the Dire considering they got Infest bombed on their Invoker.
Yeah, and Axe was able to jump on the Bloodseeker with a bunch of creeps. He just wasn't able to get enough actual spins off of it. So he could have gotten a kill, but he just got a little bit unlucky. Honestly, I think he could have dunked at the end there, didn't check health. But he probably didn't either, and just felt like he wanted to keep it just in case. Okay. Oh, Axe is in trouble here.
Yeah, he is.
TP.
That was his only play, but there was the Lich there. Oh, he doesn't have Chain Frost. Oh, but the Lifestealer doesn't get the the Bloodseeker doesn't get the last hit, so he doesn't heal up from this. So this next engagement, oh, they get the glimpse off, and this is where their lineup is really good. Using Rupture and Disruptor to isolate heroes and pick them off individually. Same thing with Pudge Hooks. It feels like that's what the draft is built around, and they're now kind of being able to execute it because they've got the levels on the Disruptor, and this Bloodseeker's active instead of just getting bullied in lane.
It's true.
Oh, he TP's up to get bashed! Did you see that?
Yeah. Honestly, though, they have all the single target, and they just need to dive. Like, it sounds weird, but like they have three super tanky heroes on Dire. They just need to feel comfortable with their draft, get in, do as much damage as possible all together. They instead of like trickling in all the time, trying to farm everything. Like yeah, it's good to have that in your draft because they can't really take advantage of it where your Spirit Breaker can, but Spirit Breaker was like trying to farm lane multiple times, trying to get pickoffs in like team fights, and it's just like not the potential of what he once was. So you have to group up at this point and do a Spirit Breaker dive together with people all smoked up and try to get or just like in a team fight, like set up a team fight. Okay, they hook one person, dive all the everyone onto Pudge. Yeah, they have Disruptor ultimate and they have Lich. Try to pick them
Looks
off
like they're
as
setting
you're
up for
going
another fight top. I think they're just going after the wrong target. They've got to eliminate the Disruptor first. Pressure the Disruptor. Force him to not get these counter engage ults. They do get vision of the Disruptor now, so maybe they could set up a charge for this. But the Disruptor's just gotten great Disruptor ults that have basically made so the fights are even though they're down. And here's the downside. Invoker does have his Midas. He has his Yules up. And, well, I do think that ultimately the late game potential of Dire's draft is better, just because Invoker's is kind of a single core at a certain point because Bloodseeker falls off so much. They were ahead so far, you know, they had this amount of gold lead 10 minutes ago, and their XP lead was greater, and the absolute level difference was much greater. And instead now, they're kind of just treading even. They aren't taking towers anymore. You know, this isn't what you want to do. They want to be leveraging the situation. And right now, the Crystal Bane looks like she's caught this Lich up top. Lich doesn't see her. Lich misses it a little bit. Oh, they get the glimpse onto the Spirit Breaker. Bite comes out. Easy Meteor combo. He doesn't randomly Tornado like so many of my Invokers have been playing with lately after I've set up for murder. And they get a quick kill there. And they're trading Tier 1 towers. And when you're down, you can get a kill plus a tower for tower trade in this situation. That's pretty great.
Yeah, it's looking more and more on the Radiant side at this point. I felt like that their draft was just getting destroyed, but they're able to find some key kills here, go into some really good movements. The availability of going a Basher first on Bloodseeker is okay. You're not generally going to get that many auto attacks off, especially when you have phase boots. So a little risky to go that.
Solo smokes himself. I think he does that because he was worried about being found. I'm not sure.
Maybe he knew that they were TPing in there and
yeah,
didn't want to get it.
You might have seen the TP and just wanted the extra move speed, plus the ability to know, are they on top of me? And then I just blink away instantly. Axis is pretty close to his Vanguard. Spirit Breaker's completed up an Urn after Treads. That's a little bit of a strange prioritization, but whatever. Urn's a great item on Spirit Breaker. He's not going to get a ton of farm, so it's not like he's going to be slotted out anytime soon. The one thing I'd like you to see him have is Dust. Why in the world against a classic Invis hero, Invoker, do you not have Dust on your Initiator? The answer is because you want to make Faf sad.
That is generally the answer.
Brado has Dust, though. Brado. Oh, man, he's got Dust. Can't insult him anymore, even though he is a filthy mid. Oh, there's the blink in aggressively. They missed the Infest, though, and then he yules him up so the Orb's going to miss. This is just wasting out most of Lifestealer's rage duration. He does get it off. Finish off the Lich there. The charge comes in, but it's canceled out by the Pudge bite. The Invoker uses himself up to protect him, and the counter engage from the... the Disruptor catches two in the ult. Puck is ulted, can't really move. He's just kind of left to sit there alone. She's going to try to orb away. She does jaunt, waiting out most of the rupture time, but she's going to get glimpsed back. She jaunts it? Okay, she jaunted while she was in their ground, but she's coming back. There's another orb, but there's another kinetic field. They can't keep canceling her blink. The Tornado's a little short, but they've got another bite. That's how long this fight's been going on. Axe comes in with a nice call to cancel the bite, though. The Sunstrike's not enough damage because they were splitting it.
Oh, blink! Blink! Yes, blink!
Just blink. Oh, but they've got perfect vision of this. Spirit Breaker's come back alive, though, and he's coming in. But so is Lich. Lich comes in for the cleanup, and now the Bloodseeker's running around like a cruise missile trying to get some work done. But he has solo HP. I don't know if he can do much. And he might die if he gets hit by this charge. The charge is canceled out, and they should really hit up this shrine and heal up, and then they can look to fight again. Oh, they've caught... The Lich has a Yules, too. They've caught the Axe, who gets the call-off. Oh, no, the Bloodseeker goes into the calls. It's going to just get soloed by the CM, and combined with the spins, the Invoker's forced to Yules out, but because they didn't Shrine, they were all so low, and they're all going to get cleaned up for a single Axe kill. And now we have a carry Crystal Maiden. You just got a triple kill. Buy yourself a Midas. Get yourself something nice.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was about to say, oh man, that is so much like, and they were all right clicks too. Like that's the fantastic idea is that there's a little snowball coming in to get that last hit every time. Oh, that's fantastic.
She got like almost all of the gold out of that fight just because it was just her and Spirit Breaker. She got half the AoE gold, or at least a good chunk of it in there. And meanwhile, all that re-engage, all that craziness, they actually just took mid tier 2. We had so much to talk about. The Puck and the Lifestealer just came back in, just TP'd back to lane and just pushed mid, it looks like. And that was just an overstay by CerDota. If they had backed up and utilized that Shrine, and eventually somebody did Shrine, but if they'd Shrined up immediately when they had 4 heroes still left alive up top, then that charge and that re-engage, they could have absolutely taken any fight. They just have a much lower cooldown lineup overall. Both lineups are actually really low cooldown, actually. So, but they have a low cooldown lineup, so they can just keep fighting. I do agree this Basher just doesn't do anything for them. If he had had a Blade Mail or just an SNY instead, I know SNY is good a chunk more than Basher, but like if he'd had one of those 2 items, or even like a Dagon or a Force Staff or something cheeky, he could have definitely, I think, gotten an extra kill. Because I don't think he bashed anyone at all.
No, his attack speed's abysmal right now. All he has is damage, and like, yeah, that'll come online later. But he's building a BKB now too, so it's not getting any value on your second item that you're going to be building. That's important, and it feels like he just wants to have the ability to be able to stop TPs. But you already have your whole team to do that.
Well, yeah, and Lich built a Yules, and Invoker did as well. I actually think that's really good itemization out from them, because one of the classic weaknesses of Bloodseeker is you can't cancel TPs to confirm kills, and when you have a Pudge and Disruptor, they bring that cancel. Lich does with his ult, but you don't necessarily want to use that in every situation.
Smoke gets broken here down at bottom.
Yeah, but they should have the catch for this. Did they get vision? Puck just goes in, misses the Waning Rift. The Infest comes out too a little early. They actually get a free, look at the group up here, and Invoker's here for the spells. Oh, he doesn't get the spells comboed, and Dreams is able just to chunk him down, but there's the bite out. Oh, but he breaks the Dream Coil thing. Invoker got off no spells beyond one Deafening Blast that was a miss, and what should have been a disastrous fight for the Radiant after that Chain Frost got off turns out to be pretty darn good.
Yeah, that should have, like, the Bloodseeker had all these different options. He went for the wrong person every single step of the way. He could have chased down either one of those 2 targets, got easy kills, got all of his health back, and then gone back to the Crystal Maiden. But he decided to tank the Crystal Maiden ult with a Blood Rage going. Like,
well, that's the thing, is if he had the Blade Mail, that's actually the play. You just turn on Blade Mail and she just dies before you do, and you're back at full health, and then you run kill someone else. But because you want this Basher build, it doesn't work that way. The only good news for them is because that was a smoke gank, and they don't really push lanes worth of crap at all, except for Puck with her Veil can do a little bit. They actually can't take a tier 2 off this. Until this Deso is up. Okay, the Deso is up now. So they've got Deso on the Lifestealer. I think he got it after that fight. He might have gotten it during that fight. Yeah, he probably had that during that fight. That Invoker died way too fast.
He did. He had it. The thing that's killing me for the longest time at this point, I've been meaning to mention it since like minute 10. Axe still does not have upgraded boots. Like,
wait, what?
Yeah, he went straight into the Vanguard.
Mr. Blue, the greed. This is like Roland level, clownish stuff. Come on, the move speed of Tranquil Boots is really important for an Axe.
Yep, and if, like, not only can you argue that, but if you're going versus a Bloodseeker, just having some natural regen around you, making sure that your other guys aren't getting picked off. Like, it's not a big deal after you get the Vanguard, because, like, you're just denying the movement speed at that point, but the heals are really, really big deal in the very beginning, so that you don't get countered out on the potential. I mean, he's doing fine now, but, oof. The rest of his team probably suffered because of that one particular move.
Yeah, he does have his blade mail up now, and they're trying to push bot, but they're being pretty hesitant. They've grouped there as 5, so it looks like Dire are more than happy just to let this fall, just because, you know, why bother? They've got mid pushing in so hard, they're just farming it all over the map. Meanwhile, if you got 5 heroes grouped for a tier 1, you know, at a certain point in the game, yeah, sure, get the tier 1. All 5 of you are there.
Right. They... I feel like they could take tier 2 though while they're doing this.
They could take Roche, they could take tier 2, they could take whatever they want, really. They waste the charge. BKB's now done in the Bloodseeker. This isn't the highest value BKB game. I guess the fact that his nemesis is literally the Crystal Maiden who continually is killing him means that you need the... I mean, you need a BKB eventually in this game, but I feel like he's picking this up a little too early when you could just play around the CM some more.
Honestly, I don't like Blink Dagger is fine and all, and it's a fine pick at this point. But I actually would rather see.
Oh,
for
CM got a blink. Ooh, yeah, I don't like it at all.
I don't mind it. I think that it's decent. I just would rather have a. I'd rather see a Midas at this point. Get yourself the levels, get yourself the response at this point, because you've had such a good game. Might as well just get those itemization to help you get even further and help yourself out later on.
Yeah, exactly. Midas just confirms your progression, because she can farm very efficiently for early levels, but later levels Frostbite just kind of loses its punch compared to like other heroes' ability to right click or just charge even lanes. I honestly think this is a pretty great Ghost Scepter game for her. Once you have the combination of Ghost Scepter Glimmer, like no matter the threat, you kind of have a response to it. So I would have preferred, instead of the Blink, just a Ghost Scepter as well, just to kind of confirm that Bloodseeker can't run you down like that. Even if he's BKB'd, you have a cooldown just to handle him.
Mm-hmm. And it's like 5-man farming here on both sides on both teams here.
And again, this is a situation where like they were up 5K for the longest time, didn't leverage it at all, and they have a very aggressive lineup. And only the fact that this CerDota draft doesn't really scale very well means I think they're just a little too comfortable farming and they're not pressing their advantage. But it's been sitting at 10K ever since that fight. They are farming a little more efficiently, just because I think CerDota is afraid to show lanes. If you look, they're just farming behind their cores right now, which I think is probably the play you have to do, because between an Axe and a Spirit Breaker and a Puck, there's just so much jump. If you go alone, there's a decent chance you just die.
Most definitely. Do you like a Puck getting a Lincoln Sphere at this point? I think it's pretty strong to have versus Bloodseeker and Pudge.
And Invoker too, because he can't Cold Snap you, which is a pretty big deal when you're Puck. Because if you get Cold Snapped, you're pretty much forced to phase shift at some point just to not be stunned out or set up for something else.
Right.
Plus, like, honestly, Puck is one of those heroes, especially with the Veil build, she already brings enough damage, I think, especially against these set of heroes who aren't really tanky. All she needs to do is stay alive, and so Lincoln's good. Plus, when you're sieging with Lifestealers, at some point this Lifestealer is just going to be hitting towers. You could just throw the Lincolns on him, and you force them to pop something on him if they want to rupture.
That's true. I was thinking more Yule's route, because I think that there's a lot of potential you could do with that. Oh wow, they're smoking and going up into their own jungle, and wow, the Spear Breaker reveals immediately, sees the whole team.
Gets hooked in, but oh, look at that call! 3-man call into Blink CM ult, and 3 heroes are just deleted. Pudge does manage to finish off the Spirit Breaker because you know, Pudge is just Pudge is eating you like that for a full duration rot, and then plus another hook. Gonna die, but that's an easy Roche for the team no TP, and with this they should be able to potentially force high ground. And Pudge just got the move speed, huh?
For Pudge, hold on. Which
talent. Level 15 talent.
Yeah, I almost never go that. That's almost always armor, especially versus someone like Lifestealer.
Yeah, the armor's just so good. Like, I mean, I actually got the move speed on Troll, but last game I played Troll, but even that I kind of regretted it, but at least with Troll it makes some sense, I feel like, because he has armor already and I had a Vlad, so I didn't feel like armor was my issue. I felt like getting kited was my issue, but like, move speed is just almost never. It's like Razor and and Troll. I think they're like the 2 heroes that I ever consider getting it on. And that's just because the other talents are kind of lackluster too. I mean, for Lifestealer, I never get move speed because 15% evasion's amazing. Like, it's so good. Like, it's just enough to save you frequently when you have a high HP pool, but not enough that a team wants to get an MKB against you, which is like the sweet spot for evasion talents.
Right. I personally, I think that. Well, oh wow, I didn't even realize this. Just looking through the items, there's an AC now on Lifestealer as well, so towers are really going to melt in front of him.
Yeah, he just picked that up. They got a Lincoln's to throw on him. It doesn't look like they have a Solar Crest up on the team, which is still a pretty big mistake. Like, the item got nerfed, but its offensive potential was nerfed for the most part. 2 armor off of what it provides you, your carry, when you put it on them, is not relevant. And they look like they want to fight, but they want to fight after the tower's already dead. They do pop the Lincolns on the puck and then rupture her up. Oh, there's a blink call onto 3 actually blink call. The Chain Frost comes out, as does the Disruptor ult, but CM goes in there, starts immediately channeling her ult, and that ends up being a 3 for none, because Lifestealer just kind of tanks through it all and armlet toggles. Oh, they spot out the Invoker, and he dies in Invis. Meanwhile, on the other side, Puck just cleans up what I believe was the Pudge?
Bloodseeker.
That was Bloodseeker. Yeah, he BKB'd and ran around, but he gets Dream Coil once his BKB's done. And now there's a buyback on the Invoker, but they need more buybacks, and they only have 1, and it's a Bloodseeker. And I don't think this team cares. The Tornado's a big miss. It hits the creep wave, but that's it. CM mans up and blinks in as all these other heroes back off. I'm a little confused by that. Oh, there goes the axe.
Charge comes in.
Yeah. Puck goes in, just does Puck things. They're just zoning them at this point. Lifestealer just rages up, just continues to hit the racks with the AC and the Desolator. Oh, they get a blink call on, but the follow-up isn't quite there, and they're starting to chase kills instead of racks. Meanwhile, Brados just keeps hitting it as the Puck. He's like, hey guys, this is all we need.
Yeah, the silence was too long. They thought, Mr. Blue thought that it was available. Oh god, and now they're getting more in. I'll let you continue.
Oh yeah, and there's the 2-man call. They're going to be able to clean them up. There comes the Blade Mail. The bite comes out, and the Tornado of the game, but they get a 3-man Dream Coil. There's 1 dunk. Can he get another? Can he get another? There's the 2nd dunk, and I don't think he's going to be able to dunk this Pudge. But Bloodseeker managed to clean up the Spirit Breaker during that, but that's it. And Lifestealer left. Lifestealer TP'd out with Aegis. What is he doing?
Yeah, that's, yeah, what?
He forgot he had Aegis. That's the only thing I can say. Because his Puck's still fighting, his Axe is still fighting. The Puck and the Axe actually clean up the entire team by themselves when their Aegis carrier TP'd home because he's low on life. And he's a Lifestealer, so he literally can just walk up to a creep and eat it for life if he absolutely wants to get some HP back.
Honestly, like, I mean, I'm not this type of guy, but I would be flaming the crap out of that Lifestealer. Like,
I mean, I would, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be submitting. Wow, I can't believe he TP'd out. Like, I could understand him running to the jungle camp. Like, if he ran to this hard camp and just ate the big creep for HP or something, I would get that. But he actually TP'd out. Like,
yeah,
wow.
That's they could have gotten 2 racks, if not 3 there. That could have ended the game. That is...
Yeah, I mean, or just suicide and come back with full health. Like, suiciding's fine, too. Like, oh, I'm so low, I can't actually fight, and this Bloodseeker's gonna be super fast. Just die, come back with full HP, do your thing as a Lifestealer. And now he's farming very aggressively solo in the enemy jungle. I think he's trying to make up for the fact that he was kind of wussed out there. Trying to be very manly, take this shrine alone, but this actually isn't the play right now because with a Pudge and a Disruptor and an Invoker, he can die twice solo since there's no backup coming. It doesn't look like the Radiant are going to be aggressively coming out of the base because they probably assume he's not solo, but, you know, still. And Mr. Blue is just indicating charge, and I guarantee you he's saying, we still have Aegis, boys, let's just kill them all.
Yep. If they go down to bottom as well, it's not like they have a lot of heroes that can really push back supers as fast as they need to. So they can do just chip damage down at bottom and have... I mean, they can have
reclaimed. Yep, Aegis was reclaimed. It was running out of time. I knew it was going to be close if they could re-engage, but honestly, it doesn't matter. They have so many more items. They are now... We were talking about how their lead was stagnating. It's now 25k. this game should be over if there isn't some serious throwing action by the Dire. And honestly, for them to throw at this point, they would just have to fountain dive, I think, or tier 4 dive at least.
Tier 4 dive could definitely do it. They're not that farmed. It's not like 50k. 25k is something, but I don't know. It's not as bad as it seems. They can still lose. There's still the shrine up there. I honestly, at this point, like even if I felt like this comfortable about a game, I would go for the shrine. Just guarantee that the next Roshan, if we have to do it, is available. And like we were talking about in the beginning of the game, the late game from Lifestealer is so much better than any of their late game. Like Invoker works, but he doesn't work versus a Lifestealer, and Bloodseeker is just like he's not built for late game. He's a carry that's supposed to exist during the mid game and put out a lot of potential so that you can end early, just killing people constantly. And that's that's not what happened. So if they play this correctly and they move in on a slow sieging environment, I think they're going to have a lot more success.
Yeah,
the only way they
lose a fight is if they just get Disruptor ulti like as a team. Like Disruptor ulti into Invoker combo can kill them all. Like that, it's hard to have enough net worth to live through that. However, wasting your rage and then not getting out of vision will do it. He doesn't infest into creep to hide. He's just getting chain frosted down. He's quite low. He needs to infest, but he's been silenced up, and he just dies. The Lifestealer dies. Meanwhile, his 3 teammates have died behind the team, and they've lost 2 now. Bloodseeker's BK beat up, but they have a puck. They don't have that much damage potential at this point. So we're just talking about how if they do it properly, they should be fine. But they didn't protect their Lifestealer. They just dived on heroes behind them. But, you know, that doesn't matter. If your Lifestealer's dead, he's your tower hitter. They is a successful defense, and they got 3k gold out of that. And they lost their 2 supports.
Yeah.
Why didn't they protect their Lifestealer? I don't get that. Like, they dived on these supports, and they didn't go on the Pudge, they didn't go on the Invoker or the Bloodseeker, the heroes that were actually murdering their Lifestealer.
Yeah, they were trying to stop the whole team fight going, and that's kind of what I was saying about taking out their shrine. Just play the game safe. You have the late game. Don't move into a scenario where you're gonna have where you're going to lose out your potential, because that was a really easy thing to do by taking high ground. All they had to do was just have him hit a tower a few times, and then rage whenever they went in. Rage to get out, hit the tower once or twice, keep rinse repeat over and over, because the split push of Forged Spirits is only going to keep them at bay. It's not going to keep the supers able to stop them, and he has to constantly do that while you're getting chip damage. So
I think that what it comes down to. I think Dreams don't want to flame the guy, but he used his rage to hit the tower. He used it for the attack speed. That's what he did it. He didn't actually use it to be defensive. If he always has to wait. So what they should be doing is when he's up there, they put the Lincolns on him, so he can't instantly get like bit by the Pudge, can't be dismembered. So you put the Lincolns on him, force that. Oh, there's a blink call, and then there's the Dagon onto the. Oh, but the tornado means the Bloodright misses, so there's no follow-up silence on the axe, so they're able to get a clean pick on the Lich. And this makes things actually really easy for them to go. Does Lifestealer... Okay, he's running in on a creep for some reason. Guess he just wanted to cosplay as a dinosaur. Something that most Lifestealers like to do at some point. Usually when ancient creeps are much stronger, and they usually pick one of the better dinosaurs. Instead he picked the crappiest of them all. And now he's gonna siege in it.
Oh, it's at least a safe siege, so I gotta hand that to him.
Yeah, you can't rupture that, so I guess he just doesn't want to get ruptured. You can't hook it anymore, can you, either?
The dump, even though the dump wasn't for us, that was perfect timing.
Yeah. I just don't understand the motivation. Like, okay, yeah, you're safe in this dinosaur to siege, but you actually hit, like, the dinosaur, which means that the tower doesn't die. Like, the tower doesn't even care. I guess they're just going to wait on Roche, which will actually respawn in about 40 seconds. They've got their Spirit Breaker doing the very important duty of sitting in the Roche pit doing nothing. And then he gets forward and charges, so they actually will not know. I guess Axe or somebody will check it at some point, but somebody's got to just be sitting in Roche at this point, I think.
Yeah, you gotta guarantee that availability, and I mean they're actually gonna get this
these
ancient
Force
creep.
Spirits. Yeah, but these Force Spirits are going to kill this Ancient Creep at this rate. They just deny it out. Well, Brado just got some of the XP for that. Congrats. You could have gotten all of it. If Lifestealer just lets him pops out, he gets all the XP, right?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, so they just cost themselves some XP to deny. So Brado's lost his, meat puppet, and now is just running around with his armlet on, looking for something to do. Almost walks right into a silence, though. Oh, that would have been bad.
They do have the bottom lane pushing a little bit now. Actually, this is a great time to go Roche.
They have
'cause
the
there's
Lotus
no way
Orb.
they
That's big. They have a way to save the Lifestealer now from a silence. The Lotus Orb is a huge pickup. I just saw that the Spirit Breaker completed that. A big part of the reason Lifestealer died last time is that his rage was off cooldown, I'm pretty sure, but he was silenced up for the duration, for that window of time, and he wasn't able to infest or rage. And now, as long as Spirit Breaker doesn't go so ham as that he can't put the Lotus on, which, let's be honest, is going to happen, ideally, he'd be able to save his Lifestealer's life.
Yes, most definitely. And they're going to take down this Roche really quickly. There's nothing that they can do about it either.
The question I have for you is, okay, he uses an Abyssal cooldown on the Roche. That's aggressive. So, does the Puck just take the Aegis? I think I would at this point. Like, if you're not going to stay and fight with me and Axe, like, I think we'll just take this from you. But instead, it looks like they're going to leave it for him. Nice guys. Doing the right thing instead of what you should do. Oh, and a DD spawns. Dreams.
Wow.
You can't mess this up. You've
This
got
is also-
Aegis. You've got a
this is
vehicle.
also
Oh no!
second one.
His axe blinks away from him.
It's also
Yeah,
the second
yeah, look.
Roche.
Yeah, second Roche. So they have cheese as well. Did they leave it on the ground? No,
No, they got it.
Yeah, Dream's got the cheese as well. So that gives him like effectively 3 lives. Because between all of his cooldowns and his defensive capabilities, the Puck's just going in, trying to delete the Lich.
Just getting that little harass out. It
Yeah,
was a smart
little
play.
harass. The glimpse into the hook. Nice attempt, but the blink foils it. I think you have to throw that hook in a little bit in anticipation.
Yep, you do. It has to be at an instant, especially versus all these blink people. You have to. It's hard to catch someone out.
They loaded up the axe, and they're having the axe hit the tower. That's a thing.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, they're getting siege,
Yeah.
so it's.
I think they're really gun shy right now. Like, what they were doing was wrong. Like, it wasn't wrong last time. Yeah, they traded 2 for 2. That was bad for them and lost Aegis. Or no, they didn't have Aegis that time. But now that you have the Aegis, there's just no reason to be hiding the Lifestealer unless you're actually going to make an aggressive play on this axe.
I think that's what they're wanting to do.
Yeah, but he's just constantly having his blink canceled at this point by those Force Spirits.
Yep.
I really think they've just decided to siege. Man, they give you an Aegis and cheese, and you still have to hide inside your axe to push a tower. Oh, there he goes. But 4 staffs, Lifestealer's Bane since the dawn of time. He does get the Abyssal Blade on the Pudge. Pudge is just going to be bit out. But Pudge gets off the run on him, and they're able to tell, but in the back they're just cleaning them up. Disruptor ult finally comes out, but by then they're all dead. Doesn't do anything, and the Invoker's able to 4-staff himself out, but doesn't do much of anything at all. And Crystal Maiden's just doing her dance in their base. And this should be GG, because there's no buybacks left, and it's just Invoker versus the world.
Yeah, and Invoker can. I mean, if he becomes Dendy here, he could do some crazy stuff.
Nope, he just gets Dagon and he's dead.
Or not Dendy. If he becomes Sumail,
Miracle.
there you go. Miracle works. Sumail's
Miracle.
really good at him, too.
Yeah. Sumail and Miracle both amazing invokers. And Dendy's invoker is more hit or miss.
Wrong person to choose there, but
Yeah.
all in all, this was a really good game. Honestly, I think that they went a little too cheeky for CerDota, and they did get some momentum in mid. That's kind of when they're in the mid game. That's kind of when their draft works. But honestly, the other draft just had much more potential. They could dive once they got some items. The magic damage didn't have any problems. I was actually surprised that I didn't see enough BKBs on the dire side. But honestly, they had a lot of other defensive items, and they were cool with taking all that damage because they wanted to reflect it back. So,
Well, but who
all in
buys
all,
a BKB? Like, I guess Spirit Breaker and Axe would, but
Right.
overall, like, Axe felt ahead, and Spirit Breaker, like the Lotus, I think is the right pickup just to save the Lifestealer. And Puck and Lifestealer, if you pick up a BKB, it's got to be ultra late game, very specific matchup sort of thing. Like, I have to just have a BKB to kill this Invoker, like, so I'm like immune forever, and I just run him down no matter where he goes.
right, right. Okay.
Welp, I think that will close out our cast today. We've been talking for Dota for approximately 2 hours, and we've watched up two pretty entertaining AD2L matches. Team no TP ends up taking both. I think through just superior. They outplayed them in the team fights in the first game, and in the second game, I think they just drafted themselves into a corner. You can't have a core Pudge and a core Bloodseeker and expect to have success if you don't snowball super early, and they did not snowball. So I'm just going to sign us out. I'm at Fafnir Dota. You're watching this on twitch.tv, Fafnir18. And you can follow Flub, my co-caster, Flub Dota, at Flub Dota. And there might be some other things for you to plug, but I cannot remember the proper way to do it, so I'm going to let you do it.
Oh, that's okay. You can find any of my videos generally on 5 Midas Gaming, but in general, I usually have a long list of plugs from there, but I'm actually going to kind of abstain this week because there could be some switch-ups in my future on that, so... Stay
Okay.
tuned if you're interested in me, and just follow me at Flub Dota. It'll all be there eventually.
And that's Flub with 2 Bs. And thank you guys for watching. And since you're probably one of the guys who just played in this game, thanks for letting us cast, and let us know if you need us to cast again.